The World Curling Tour converges on Calgary next. It spanned 2 different continents, covering 60 different venues, and this weekend in Calgary, the Husky World Curling Tour makes its final stop. From the Calgary Curling Club in snowy southern Alberta, the tempo's about to heat up. And the galleries have been strong in support of this 9th ever Tour Championship weekend. Today's semifinal, certainly no exception. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Calgary for the culmination of 6.5 months of outstanding curling that began on both sides of the Atlantic in mid-September and will culminate here in Calgary this weekend with a total prize purse of $150,000 up for grabs. The top 24 rinks on the entire planet are here in Calgary, of course, hoping to divvy up that grab. And, of course, looking back to early Wednesday morning, it all began in 4 separate pools of 6 teams playing a round-robin portion of this event to determine the 2 quarterfinalists from each and every bracket. From Pool A, Wayne Madov, a world champion, in fact, 2-time world champion, coming on strong with a record of 4-1, joined by a 1996 world champion in Jeff Stoughton from Winnipeg, Manitoba, who had to defeat Tom Brewster by way of Scotland to move in. Dave Clemenhaga, the upstart out of Edmonton, Alberta, won this Pool B, 4-1 his record, and Russ Howard joining him by way of a family feud. He defeated brother Glenn to move on to the final round of 8. Pool C, of course, as we move on, the defending world champion Greg McCauley from Vancouver, a record of 4-1, alongside Saskatoon's Bruce Corte. In Pool D, this was very competitive. Kevin Martin, the defending champion in the event, at 4-1, alongside Peter Corner from Ontario with a record of 4-1 as well. Here's how they matched up in quarterfinal play. Madov versus Clemenhaga, Corner and McCauley in a match that went to an extra end. Martin versus Stoughton, Russ Howard and Bruce Corte rounding up a final 8. And moving into the final round of 4, Madon Corner, which will take place later tonight, Russ Howard and Kevin Martin to take on each other in a matter of moments. Pleasure to welcome my broadcast colleague, the founding father of the World Curling Tour, Ed Lukowich, and a former world champion as well. And as you well know, this is an event steeped in history.
Well, thank you, Paul. And this is the 9th year of the championship. The inaugural one was here at the Calgary Curling Club, won by Russ Howard. Kevin Martin won the second one, and that's our matchup today, surprisingly enough.
I talked about $150,000 in a total prize purse. The winner is going to get in excess of 25% of that totals, and as well, an Olympic trial berth on the line for 2 of our quarterfinals, or at least semifinals here today.
Well, the money's great, but these teams really here. Martin's got a spot in the trials already. So for Russ Howard, a big game today. He wants to be the 10th team into those Olympic trials come December.
Let's introduce our rinks, first of all, from Edmonton, Alberta. No stranger in this province, and of course nationwide and internationally. Team Martin, skipped by Kevin, the defending champion. He's won 3 of these events.
Well, going back, and he's the defending champion. Go back to his junior days, he was a tremendous hitting team, but he's really learned that draw game. Once the 3-rock rule came into play, this team can really throw the high, hard shot. Extremely explosive and dangerous when there's a lot of rocks around.
And at home in neither northern or southern Alberta, of course, Russ Howard as well. No stranger to this event, Ed. You've mentioned he is the inaugural champion. He's won this event twice in 1993 and 1997 and gets a chance to play this rink from Edmonton for the 2nd time this season.
Yeah, for sure. Russ Howard, he loves that draw game. He's come in and he brought a lot of innovations to the draw game over the years. That's really his strength. He doesn't have that big hitting prowess that Martin has, but Howard can really play well with rocks.
Russ Howard as well is on a bit of a roll.
He's won. He came in here, lost his first 2 games, and then he's run 5 in a row after that. And what I really like to see on the tour is that it's quite often the team on the roll that ends up winning it. So the roll of dice here goes to Howard. I'm picking him.
After the quarterfinals last night, we had a chance to talk with Kevin Martin. He told us he's going to go after Russ immediately. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he says there's no one that scares him anymore. He'll gamble against anybody. He wants to get the game going. He'll play offensive right from the start. He'll go after Howard.
Well, a great semifinal is on tap. Kevin Martin and Russ Howard as East takes on West, and we'll be back at the Calgary Curling Club in southern Alberta with first-hand action coming up in just a moment.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
everything's just fine.
For more than 60 years, families like Silkins have been entrusting A&J Campbell van lines to move more than just their belongings. You could say they deliver peace of mind. A&J Campbell, Canada's largest coast-to-coast mover.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over $21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
I know a lot of things now that I didn't know before.
A real man can fix toilets.
I don't know everything.
Nice to know things are done right as you did it.
This is everything I ever wanted.
He knows everything there is to know about everything.
Did you listen to the guy?
We go to Home Depot for advice anyway.
I live for Saturday.
I asked the people at Home Depot, and they told me how to do it.
They improve me.
I improved my house.
This is why I come to Home Depot.
First.
Home Depot, first in home improvement.
The 2001 Husky Players Championship is brought to you by Husky Energy and Ethanol Gasoline, Mother Nature's fuel.
And welcome back. We are at the Calgary Curling Club as the Players Husky World Curling Tour Championship first semifinals about to unravel itself, sort itself out, and two great curlers as well in Russ Howard and Kevin Martin. Ice Notes brought to you by NMAX.
Excellent ice from ice technician Jamie Barassa in his 6th year at the Calgary Curling Club. We can expect to see about 3 feet of curl around a center guard. This ice is slightly dished, or center low, meaning less curl, or 2.5 feet around a side guard. Kevin Martin may surprisingly use the keen outside ice to place his corner guards, thereby setting the amount of ice he would use for a wide outside bury. Ice speed is quick with 15 seconds hog to hog and 24 seconds from hog to tee line.
An opportunity as well. Let's introduce the rinks, and we are in Alberta, and of course the entire province, in fact the nation, knows this rink. Skip Kevin Martin. Don Walchuk is his third. Carter Rycroft, 22 years of age, the second, and Don Bartlett, another veteran of the curling wars, at lead. And for Team Howard from Moncton, New Brunswick, James Grattan, the third by way of Oromocto, New Brunswick, and Rick Perrin from Moncton as well, and Grant Odishaw, the lower half there, a pair of veterans when it comes to the Canadian mixed curling wars and former national champions in that respect.
And surprisingly enough, we had a little bit of feistiness right before the match. There was a draw to the button, as is done in the World Curling Tour, to decide the hammer in the first end.
Grant Odishaw, as mentioned, from Moncton, and a 1994 Canadian mixed curling champion. In fact, he has been an 8-time provincial mixed champion out of New Brunswick and a 4-time Purple Heart recipient en route to the Brier out of that province as well.
And to get back to that draw to the button that just occurred at the start of the game, both skips draw the button, and they're sweeping allowed, except the opposing third is not allowed to sweep the rock once it goes past the tee. Grattan, he got on and swept Martin's rock back a bit, and the official declared a foul, so Martin ended up with the hammer here.
Don Bartlett, a postal clerk, and let me get this out of the way, Ed, whether it be on the ice or off, this man can deliver.
No doubt. Makes the mail show up every day.
As we talked about in our opening, Kevin telling us here last night at the Calgary Curling Club, he is going to go after Russ right from the get-go, and they're looking for redemption from back in September when they met in Gander, Newfoundland, and Kevin indicating with his, or at least Russ indicating with the hands, that it was just by a few inches that that game was decided on by one rock. Rules of play here for this afternoon's semifinal match. Each match 75 minutes in duration. There will be one 1-minute timeout. The 3-rock free guard zone rule is in effect, and barring an extra end, this will go the duration of 10 ends.
Yep, you got to go hard. You got to go hard.
Howard having played that first one into the top 4 foot, now guarding it. And interesting enough, when we talked about ice conditions, I mentioned that Martin might set those corner guards coming from the outside in. That's what he did with his first red one.
Quarterfinal play last night. Greg McCauley, the defending world champion, took on Peter Corner on this exact sheet.
Back line, Donnie B.
With 3 consecutive blank ends, but the tone of this game is going to be distinctly different from that. This is certainly going to get complicated with 2 rocks already in play just below the hog line.
Well, Martin has what he wants already. 1 wide corner and 1 just off the center line, and if Bartlett can get the shot stone here, it sets up nicely for the Martin team.
Right up there. Right up.
Hard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Might
Going to
roll
wreck.
up. Might come in.
Yep. Not all bad. He moves that corner over. Might sneak this one in for a wee biter yesterday.
Right.
Those outside rocks in the 12-foot have a habit of coming back and haunting the other side.
Had Howard had the hammer here, he would probably ignore that, but he doesn't, so they're going to make a play on it.
Rick Perrin, a man who I've known for quite some time, and we grew up in Noranda, Quebec. In fact, played Little League Baseball against each other, and the mining industry is taking our parents in different directions. He, of course, to Bathurst, New Brunswick, but did settle here in Moncton and has been to the Briar 4 times. And along with Grant Odeshaw, has been to the National Mixed on 7 different occasions, winning it back in 1994, and he cleans house.
A lot of roll there, and Martin doesn't even bother sweeping it, lets it hang in just on the back edge. Perhaps, well, it's a little too far out of play. I don't think we'll get a jam that far back.
Down normal.
Carter Rycroft coming up now, second stone, and this is a bit of a homecoming for him, and you had the pleasure of unearthing some not-so-friendly memories for this young man, dating back to his junior days, and John Morris, who was also curling in this event this weekend.
Well, he said he had just recently got over therapy, but it was back in 1998 that he played the final of the Canadian Junior Championship right on this very sheet against John Morris. And it was a close game, but Carter missed a draw in the 8th end to count 2, and then
Great shot.
missed a blank on his last one to allow Morris to steal one, and John Morris went on to win that and the Worlds. Nice roll there.
Carter works in the oil patch, 22 years of age, and what a thrill to be curling with the likes of this veteran rink, skipped by Kevin Martin. This is going to be interesting here as they go down this outside part of the sheet for the first time, but full credit to Jamie Barrasso, the ice maker here, and his crew. The conditions have been perfect.
There should be some curl out here. The sheet is slightly dished, low in the middle, so you do get some move in towards the middle off the wings. Weight was a little down. Sweepers couldn't hold it.
Okay.
No luck, doesn't even move it in behind the corner
As you
guard.
predicted, ice conditions, it is going to swing in a wee bit.
I'll go around the wide way.
A very lucrative year, $2 million all totaled in the World Curling Tour Championship in terms of fiscal breakdown. Here's how this event breaks down. The loser of this event here this afternoon is guaranteed of $10,000. The champion, of course, gets an opportunity to win $40,000 tomorrow afternoon.
And that's just not hay. That's pretty good money.
Okay.
And on the tour, it's been growing every year.
Ton of room. Line's real nice. Just top 12. Not lots. Oh, yeah, it's lots. Oh.
Both of these teams, when we're talking about money, and if we include skins games, they've both gone over the $100,000 mark a number of times.
Nice shot.
You take a look at the bank account for this Kevin Martin rink over the last 5 years, they've won $500,000. I mean, times have changed from the days of bringing home television sets and power tools.
The tour has been very, very good to Kevin Martin, as Calgary has been, too. He won the Briar here in '97 over Vic Peters in a thrilling final.
James Grattan from Oromocto, New Brunswick, just some 15 miles outside of Fredericton, Army town, and he is a native of Ottawa. And you mentioned the Calgary Briar, and I believe James was a member of that Briar contingent as well.
Oh, he played tremendous at that Briar. He knocked off Eddie Wernick in a tiebreaker game and then lost a close semifinal to Vic Peters. And interesting enough, there's Martin, as he mentioned even before the game. He likes to set up that corner coming wide and then drawing from the wide side. He just feels a lot of teams don't play that enough. And you couldn't play that in club curling, Paul. It'd be very difficult because normally your sides are so heavy. But when it's ice kinged across the entire sheet, it's nice drawing even from the board side.
Corner. Don Walchuk, and joking with Don prior to the start, we were just confirming with Don how many Briars that Kevin had been in, and he said he's been in 6, but Don said I've been in 7, so bragging rights within the team as well, and Don's got them.
Line's good, a lot of room. Wolf, you can't. A lot of weight too. This is way out. That looks really big, eh?
Go around it?
Yeah, it's wide. It's past it though. Right to here.
We're there.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, plan B has already been set up halfway down the sheet. As Martin says, that's a way too wide.
Oh, that's good.
Bartlett says, yeah, there's lots of weight, too.
Fine.
So smart move to take it deep rather than setting it high, setting up a double. Donnie lost his shaver there. He says it's been a tough year in the investment business, and he usually likes to have a little bit of growth there.
Yeah.
Well,
you can try that again. Just tap that up with hack. Nah. You just hit it? Yeah. Nose?
Well, sooner or later, Howard's going to look at having to get out of this end. The way it's shaping up right now, Kevin Martin's really set up for the deuce.
Going to mention the possibility for Don Walchuk of winning this championship. He might be able to afford a racer.
No doubt.
Oh, a ton of weight.
And with that slight dish in the center of the ice, the center line's a little low. You don't get the rocks curling quickly out of the middle area.
And James's weight was up, which prevented any possibility of a swing as well. So he rolls to the other side of the sheet.
Not only to the other side, but behind the tee line, Kevin Martin will use that yellow stone as backing and ask Walchuk to freeze right down to it. Looks like lots of ice.
Kevin mentioned he was going to go after Russ right from the start, and the pressure is on here. Martin with last rock, and final shot here for third Don Walchuk.
Tee line.
They'd like to freeze, but they'll also take just second shot right on the tee line.
Yep. Hard. Wait hard. All the way there. Hard. Hard. Come on. Hard.
Okay, that's good. Nice shot. Perfect shot.
That's the good angle. Stayed on the inside of it. Howard looking like he might have to concede two here, playing the hit.
I think a compliment to ice maker Jamie Barrasos, the fact that this is an opportunity for the Brushers to do all sorts of magic.
Most teams nowadays love to play that outside-in hit, as Russ is here.
They hung out a long time, just finished at the end.
Russ Howard, two-time world champion, 1987, 1993, did it with different front ends. Of course, he and brother Glenn were familiar tandems of third and skip during those heyday years.
Well, if there's ever been a player who had a stellar career, it's Russ Howard. He's just all the Skins games he's won over the years and all the big events. Real money player.
And we talked about it, the inaugural winner of this event right here in Calgary in 1993.
Yeah, that win coming over Paul Savage in the final.
And I think there was a stipulation back then that a left-hander was not allowed to win the inaugural event. Paul obliged.
But if we freeze to theirs and he makes the bump, he might be shot. T-line or just behind. That's fine.
Let's take a look back historically at this great event, and Kevin Martin, the defending champion, twice out of the last 3 years, and quite a breakdown when you look at Eastern and Western Canada here, pretty much split right down the middle.
Yeah, the who's who of curling right there.
Line's good. Room. Room.
Deep and short. Lots of weight.
Whoa.
Room.
Got no backing at
No
all.
backing. Now we're onto it.
Oh, don't take it too deep.
Yep.
We're there. We're T-line. Hard.
Actually, right there is good. Right here on the tee line. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Martin mentioned in the hack to his sweepers that he didn't really want the exact freeze because then Howard might be able to tap and be shot stone and be frozen.
These are great. No. So you can wait a bit on it. Hey? We can wait a bit on it. We got to make sure anyway.
Hey, you're right, that didn't do much there. I guess you got to go wider, to get the pull.
Yeah.
Well, don't get too cute here, but nose would be nice.
Russ had the opportunity to play brother Glenn for the first time in probably 21, 22 years here this weekend. Tiebreaker ending round robin play and beat him both times.
And he can yell with the best of them in curling. Exactly what he was hoping for.
Talking with Glenn last night, Glenn Howard, and he hasn't skipped. In fact, skipped in the university level in Ontario for the University of Waterloo, and perennial OUAA champion back then, but moved up the ranks and played third for his brother. And he said the key for him in making this adjustment is learning to read ice, and not easy when you've been playing third all that time.
Not just the ice, it's the release of all the players on your team who throw it just a little bit different. That little feistiness they had over that toss could really come into play here now as Martin has the last stone on this opening end. And he can use that big weight to hit and stay. Could be rolling. He stays. He's got the 2.
Great start by way of the hammer for Kevin Martin from Edmonton, Alberta, as he leads Moncton, New Brunswick's Russ Howard by 2. We're back in Calgary after this.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
Introducing the Polaris Sportsman 500 HO with a new high-output engine and 20% more power. The world's best-selling automatic ATV just got better.
Always presents some science.
Just for us, during our period. The more water we drink, the less water we retain.
More science we can use?
Always Super Maxi.
The only Super Maxis with quilted dry weave.
To resist bunching, so they keep their shape better.
And keep protecting after wingless Maxis give up.
Go science.
Always quilted protection.
Always science. Never stops.
Got one thing on your mind? Sports in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ. Looking to make a change? Careers in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ.
The road to the semifinals brought to you by AMJ Campbell Van Lines. And for Kevin Martin in Pool D, off to a pretty sensational start. $800 per victory as well to this rink. So they emerged with $4,000 just like that, Ed.
Kevin Martin is always strong in these round-robin plays, and he's a tough customer to deal with. He's up 2-0 here already, and so I really feel that Russ Howard has to take it easy here, show a little patience, get back in the game.
And for Russ Howard, a slow start, lost his first 2 games, but has come back to win 5 consecutive games, including the tiebreaker.
Well, Russ mentioned that their ice at home was a little bit different than this, and took them really quite a bit of time. They lost the first game to Craig Brown from the USA. They couldn't quite catch the ice. Second game didn't go well, but since then they're on a 5-game winning streak, so Howard's playing a little better each and every game.
And with all due respect, Peter Corner did defeat Kevin Martin, the final game of the round robin in a sensational match. Both rinks going to 4-1, so either rink, of course, pocketing $1,600 or actually $3,200 apiece, as I correct myself in the new mathematics. And here we are heading back toward the glass, and again, plenty of rocks in play. This is going to be an interesting afternoon.
Grant replying here to 2 fine shots that were played into the top 4-foot area by Don Bartlett. Got that one going on his out turn. Wanted to roll him behind the corner, but it'll roll the other way.
And if you've just joined us, we are in second.
Keep your weight up a little bit on this one.
The Husky Players Championship from the World Curling Tour at the Calgary Curling Club. And Carter Rycroft, second for Kevin Martin. This rink up on Russ Howard by 2 rocks after 1 end of play.
This isn't the normal strategy that you'd see from Kevin Martin when he's 2 up. He'd normally go and rip that yellow guard off there and take the game into the rings, and then look for doubles on the Howard Yellowstones.
Closed captioning of today's broadcast is brought to you by JVC. First rock of the second 10 for Rick Perrin. Second stone.
Board. Nice board. Nice board. Wow. Hey!
Veteran of many Briars, Rick is. In fact, 1991 Hamilton Briar with New Brunswick won by Kevin Martin. It's a nice hit and a roll to the other side of the center line. Still exposed, however.
And Carter Rycroft, just a beautiful curling delivery. Comes out so nice and square.
No. Gotta move, Tony. No.
As mentioned on this exact sheet, lost the 1998 Canadian Junior Champion. Shifted John Morris, and John, of course, eventually went on to win back-to-back World Championships.
Hard.
Oh, boy.
Boy, is the ice ever keen, Edwin. Gentle weight, as Kevin alluded to.
Houses are very lively. That even Martin, a Skip able to sweep that one out of the rings, and Skip's not renowned for the great brushing. Good patience being shown here by Martin. Second ends are very dangerous when you give up an early score on that first end. And if you tend to gamble too much, all of a sudden you might be looking at 2 or 3 or 4, and there's another big steal that happens, and you can be out of the game in 2 ends. So the name of the game here right now for Russ Howard is some patience. There's lots of time, a lot of ends to get back into it.
And perhaps damage control. Rick with a shot and rolls slightly toward the Martin stone.
A lot more late, eh?
8 foot, 12 foot. Kevin's on it exactly.
Martin motions for the roll. It would still be in front of the tee line, so the roll here could be a good idea.
Getting to a Briar is a major accomplishment. Winning it on 3 occasions. It's just absolutely tremendous. And Don Walchuk with bragging rights in that respect.
And those first 2 years that he won the Briar in 88 and 89, Randy Furby was at third, Pat Ryan at skip. Nice roll.
Won a world championship and had their hearts broken a year later in Lausanne, and we're hoping later on in this broadcast to talk with Randy Furby as he gets set to go back to Lausanne and make amends for what happened over a decade ago.
Get in here. Yeah, that or beak it. Whatever you like. What do you think? What do you think? Don't matter. Let's try that. Okay. It's normal.
Early in the game, but a very big shot here from James Grattan. Wants to drive this one straight back under the Martin counter.
Just missing.
And the bad part, the guard's still there. And Martin will utilize that against them.
Back onto the offensive. James Grattan, we talked about a qualifier in the 1997 Briar in Calgary, a former runner-up at the national junior level as well, alongside Carter Rycroft, of course, both from different provinces and at different times.
Yeah. Well, they missed the either-or there. The thought is you either get the straight back, or if it's not going to work out, roll off the guard.
You're watching your first one. I'm not sure how much it's going. It's the guard. Maybe not. Hurry. Hard.
Bartlett
Line's good.
and Rycroft on this right from the beginning.
Off, it's not moving yet. Leave it high. Go Barry.
Plenty of line. Now it just comes down to weight.
Kevin says, let me do it. If nobody wants to sweep it, I'll get in there. Didn't quite vary for him, though.
Thought I was going to be late on that.
Opportunity here for the Moncton rink perhaps to drive it back and spin them both off.
How about the same?
Might be there.
You can see 3/4 of it anyway. Okay, normal. I don't think we can stick around even with board.
changed things around and rolled that one from behind cover. Howard screaming very loud there. A little bit of that horse call from him.
Fine line between singing with the Vienna Boys Choir and skipping a match here at the World Curling Tour Championship finale weekend in Calgary.
Well, Russ yells so loud that usually by the end of the week, his voice is starting to go on him.
Reflect back to one of his 10 Briars, I think back in Saskatoon, where the voice was shot, and he was looking at the possibility of a transmitter to get to his front end. And, of course, CCA said that was not going to be possible, much to the chagrin of several electronic firms in the Saskatoon area.
Well, that was tough on him because his voice was totally gone on that Briar, and here he was trying to yell at the top of his voice.
Clean. Clean. It's clean. It's clean.
Whoa. Well, no.
Nothing there. One of the inside roll didn't materialize.
To sit 3.
Well, Paul, we talked about it, you know, how dangerous the second end can be, and Martin has 3 in there, and he has 2 points on the board already.
I was out farther than that.
Howard's got to be good, and he's got to be careful here, too.
And he's got to be precise.
The button would wreck now, wouldn't it? So I got to go a little wider.
Yeah. 8.5 out here, Russ.
Okay. And I too maybe 9 in my draw the button?
You're about 9.5 when you draw the button.
A little more.
Tough turn to bury on. Walchuk tried it and didn't get in behind cover.
Harder.
Room.
Gotta go.
Whoa,
We really gotta go.
Whoa!
Whoa means whoa.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So you're going to get a wick?
All right. A little too much weight, and perhaps the best choice would have been at the hog line to go for the rub.
He thought he was light, I guess, yeah. Very fast down there. Defense were up too. Russ was a little wide, but... If we're going to bump the back, we'll make sure we bump it far enough.
Kevin Martin coming around that guard that's out in front, and he'd like to position this one just touching the top of the 4-foot right from that area, and give Howard a choice as to whether or not he wants to make a play on that one or not.
4 foot?
Well, yeah, don't just even them up or a little less even.
Okay, yeah.
As long as it's full 8.
Still very much early in this match, but the outside portions of these sheets are extremely quick.
Well, Jamie Barassa using that Ice King machine is just nice right across the keen everywhere.
If you can.
Whoa. Clean it.
Where are we at?
Whoa.
Off the red?
Whoa.
Off the red?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
plenty of weight.
We're going to the back one. Go all the way there. Yep. Hard. Get on the back one. Hard. Got a bump of the foot.
He got his foot and then some. He said at least 2.
That one? I think so. I don't think so.
Quite possibly 3.
Can we go wider than that?
No, you're right there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last rock for Russ Howard, and Ed, if there's any benefit, he gets to take the same shot he took on the previous attempt.
Yeah, Walchuk's
Goes back in his weight.
Yeah, he just has to Xerox that first shot of his
and he's got backing.
Come down to the inside of that red one.
Line's good.
Nice release, just got to the 12 o'clock right at the end, so he certainly didn't go over the top of it.
Wall line. Where's the weight?
On the back.
Wall. Never. Wall. Ready. Ready.
Good shot.
Settles in. That'll be shot stone.
Gets a must-one, and unfortunately for us, has to settle for one as the pressure is on, put on by Kevin Martin from Edmonton, and through 2 ends of play in Calgary, Martin 2 and Howard 1.
The power of diesel is now even more powerful with the all-new Diesel Max. Fill up at Husky or Mohawk and improve the overall performance of your diesel-powered car or truck. Diesel Max makes engines run stronger, smoother, and perform longer with less maintenance. And Diesel Max burns cleaner, reducing harmful emissions over conventional diesel fuels, showing a big improvement in mileage. It's time for Diesel Max, improving performance and saving you money. Available only at your Husky and Mohawk retailers.
Do you know what your day is going to be like? I don't. So if I get constipated, I rely on Metamucil. It's 100% naturally sourced fiber, treats my body gently, unlike my job.
Naturally sourced Metamucil, most recommended by doctors for irregularity.
You look so radiant. Introducing a breakthrough in reducing the appearance of aging. It contains vitamin.
You look beautiful.
Total Effects from Olay fights the 7 signs of aging.
Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia.
Discover the sights and sounds that make us Canada's seacoast. In our music, in the excitement of our past, in our seafaring heritage, and in young hearts. It's all in our 400-page Doers and Dreamers Guide. Get your free copy today and visit us as soon as you can. Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast.
Excite your senses. JVC.
You fly, what's up? I do play a mean pair of spoons.
Which woodland beast left us this little gem?
Beavers. They develop a taste for human flesh. They'll never go back to Willowbark again.
You tell me that
now.
Do so much, Miss England. Handsome cadets with their finely curved sabers held stiffly erect.
Get hold of yourself, man.
Left, right, left, right.
Someone here has been pinching our beaver. Now you hand the culprits over, or we'll torch the fort.
Boy, they're mad about something, eh?
Indeed.
This is heaven.
And this, I assure you, is not heaven.
Buddy in the red coat stole the beaver. It's got a nice little ring to it, huh?
Let's reflect back to the Civic Center in Ottawa. The Randy Ferbey ring from Edmonton winning the Brier Championship and getting set to represent this country in Lausanne, Switzerland next month. What an outstanding achievement, a standing ovation for a great rink, and tremendous relief anytime you get to a Brier, but what an accomplishment to come away and win it. And with us in the broadcast booth, Randy Ferbey, and of course front-end player Scott Pfeiffer. And gentlemen, welcome and congratulations, and you guys have got to be in pins and needles, so excited about the prospects of what might happen next month in Europe.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's just an overwhelming feeling. You know, to play in a Brier is one thing, but to actually win it is it's unbelievable. I don't think the feeling is sunk in yet for 3 or 4 of our members on the team yet, but we're enjoying the moment, and we're looking forward to going over to Lausanne.
As well, you get a chance to go back to a city where heartbreak ended for you back in 1989, and a chance perhaps to make amends, and lost to a guy that Ed Lukowitz certainly knows, and Eigel Ramsfeld.
Yeah, you know, we had a terrific year that year. We went undefeated in the Brier and undefeated in the Worlds, and lost on last rock to Eigel Ramsfeld. It's ironic it's in the same building, in the same city, and to get a second chance to go back there and finish some unfinished business there is just unbelievable, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it on home.
Well, that's a good line on unfinished business, and we got a little business going on the sheet of ice here right now. And talking before the game with Don Bartlett, he said that since they started drawing to the button for the hammer in these World Curling Tour Championship games at the Players' Championship, they are 13-2, and that really leaves it up to the players, the beautiful draw to see who gets it. They actually lost this one, but Grattan swept the rock mistakenly, so they got this toss as well. So they're 14-2, winning the hammer. Isn't that something?
Yeah, no kidding. You know, I know Kevin, the type of game that he plays, he likes having the last rock in the first end. He's more aggressive in the first end, and it paid off, and he got a deuce in the first end. And, you know, Kevin's going to be tough to catch because of that, and Russ is going to have to get a couple breaks here to get back in this thing, even though he's only one down.
Scott, you're a former World Junior champion. Now you get a chance to move up to the next level. You've got to be so excited. Your comments on how the rink curled together and as a whole leading up to the Briar.
Well, we've curled together for a couple of years now, and we get along really well. We got a lot of practice here on the World Curling Tour, and we're really looking forward to going. The guys are great. Enjoy playing with them all the time, and it really helps.
And keeping the senior citizen of this rink in order as well.
You're referring to who?
It might be you, Randy, and I guess the rest of this rink has to keep you young, and it's hard to say when a guy is 41 years of age that you're a senior citizen of this rink, but you've got some fine young talent alongside.
Definitely, you know, and I owe so much to them, you know. Through their excitement and enthusiasm, it just makes me want to curl all that much longer and whatnot, and I can't say enough about them, how much I enjoy playing with them.
We would have loved to have had your rank here in this championship this weekend, but let's face facts. Everybody has jobs as well, and when you go to a Ford-time in Ottawa, play-downs and a chance to go to Europe, you guys have got to get back to work at one point in time.
Well, for sure, you know, we all got jobs and whatnot, and, you know, we fully intended to come to this event, but after getting lucky and winning the Briar, you know, it's 2 weeks off work there, and it's just a time commitment away from work and the family just makes it that much more difficult. But like I said, we would have loved to play in this event if we had every intent to play in the event, but it's unfortunate.
Well, Randy, I want to ask you a question. As we just look at play here for a second, though, Kevin Martin really controlling the front rings there, and he has the hammer in this. So Howard has to be careful or he doesn't give up another 2 or 3. But my question to you is, you're skipping it, and Nedwin's throwing the last one. When was the first time you made that move when you started to play?
Well, it actually started the first year that we played together 4 years ago. Dave was calling the game, and about halfway through the season, our front end thought that we'd benefit more by me calling the game and Dave being marginally just a better sweeper than me, just barely though. They thought we could benefit more that way, and it's worked quite well since then.
Randy, if we look back historically, when was your first professional victory on the tour? How far back?
Oh, God, that's, you know, I'd hate to say 30 years, but, you know, I've been playing the game for 30 years, and I started playing real competitively with just the year before I played with Pat Ryan in '85, so I'd have to say somewhere around 1985.
And Scott, as well, looking back to last year, there wasn't much in this province that you people did not win. What a success story you guys were last year as well.
Yeah, well, we kind of got on the roll and just kept on qualifying, and then won our 3 games after that. We ended up winning 5 out of 7 tournaments, so there's one of them on the TV right now. But we had a great time. Last year was a good time for us. It's too bad that we didn't have a better play-down schedule, but we sure came back this year. And
it was a look back at the first event on the schedule in Leduc.
Little down, maybe. Lots of room. Ton of room.
Meanwhile, back on the ice, a very competitive match here. And, of course, we talked with Kevin Randy last night. He said he was going to attack Russ right from the start. He's been doing that, and the pressure's been on this Moncton rink.
Well, there's no doubt that Kevin's, you know, if he scores a deuce this end, I don't think you're going to see too many rocks in play after that. But Kevin, you know, 1 up with last rock is very tough to beat. And if he's 3 up here, it's going to be almost impossible. Russ is going to need some good breaks to get back in the game for sure.
We talked last night with Kevin Martin about your provincial final that occurred this year in Stettler, and that one must have been, I would think, a huge win for you to finally get the win over Kevin and go to the Briar.
Well, it was. You know, we've had moderate success against Kevin in the last couple of years, but to beat him in a real big game like that is just a confidence booster. You know, they're an extremely difficult team. They're one of the best teams in the world over the last 4 years, and to win the provincial by beating them is just, we are totally excited about that.
Quarterfinal play last night, Kevin Martin stole 4 from Jeff Stoughton in the 5th end, and all practical purpose, the game was over from then on in. It was batten down the hatches because the Rocks came firing down, led by Donnie Walchuk, and then, of course, skip Kevin Martin.
Yeah, they're an extremely good hitting team, and like I said, you know, you don't want to get down too many points to these guys.
Make the double, and he's a guess. Well, hit and roll here is good.
Well, Kevin has really gained a lot of imagination in his strategy over the last few years. Like here, he's playing probably a little different shot that he would have played as a junior.
Well, you know, like Kevin's been one of the best teams around there. They've played the best teams in the world the last 4 years, and you can't help but learn by playing the Wayne Dogs, the Burtnicks, the Russ Howards, and he's using it to his advantage right now.
All right.
Just the second matchup
I like hitting the
between
yellow one and rolling in.
Martin and Howard this year. Randy, from the same province, how often would your rink get a chance to play against Kevin Martin?
Well, you know, we play out of the same league, but so we play once a year there, and you know, the only time we really meet him is in Bonspiels, and I think we played him 3 or 4 times this year, and we're reasonably successful against him, but you know, overall we don't really play him that much in the city.
Heart. Easy. Wow. Heart. Heart. Oh. Right over there. Right over.
Ah, boy.
Shot, Carter.
Nice hit and roll there. Randy, with you gaining the 9th spot in those Olympic trials next year in December, is your plan to play a lot of the tour events next fall and really get ready for the trials?
You know, it's something we haven't really discussed that much, you know, because going into this year, as everybody knows, I was basically going to pack it in, but, you know, I'm going to play probably a watered-down schedule a little bit, but we're probably playing 4 or 5 events. We're committed to the skins game already, or 2 or 3 skins games, as a matter of fact, but we really haven't discussed the schedule that much.
It's a difficult balance, isn't it, as we get older with families and jobs. Scott, I look at you, and I know you're much younger. Well, not that much younger, but somewhat much younger, and maybe responsibilities not as drastic as some of the older members on the rink, and you've got a chance to focus on this game and excel for many years to come.
Yeah, well, one of the things is our employees are really good with our time off. They're very supportive of us, and we all have responsibilities. I mean, one of our players is a school teacher, and he's got a very difficult time of getting or time off. So it really helps when you have supportive employers and guys that really want to curl with you.
Will the World Junior Championship experience be of benefit as you head to Lausanne? Can you equate one to the other? Is it a real case of apples and oranges?
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to the World Men's Championships yet, but they've all been in far places, so a lot of us have traveled far, so we got a few days to get over the jet lag and then start playing the different teams, and they play a lot of different styles of games than a lot of the Canadian teams do, so that'll be one thing we have to adjust to.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. The 4-rock rule, that's going to be used in the Worlds in Lausanne, and also, I believe, in the trials next year in Regina, they'll go to the 4-rock. Do you see it someday where perhaps we'll see the Briar also moving to 4-rock?
Well, I think there has been some discussions on it. It's a good rule if you use it correctly. We went to a Bonspiel in Switzerland this year, and they used the 4-rock rule, and to be honest with you, we didn't really find a whole lot of difference with it. We still play an aggressive game no matter what rule we're playing with.
Any different strategy you'd use, Randy?
I don't think so, you know, like Scott touched base on, I think we're a reasonably aggressive team, and we'll go at it right from the very first end with 3-rock rule, 4-rock rule, 5-rock rule, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like we like seeing rocks in place, so if anything, it'll benefit us, and if the other team wants to get into it, we'll accommodate them.
He's probably got something off that, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, but the yellow's a pretty good spot right now.
You can do that. Or you can hit this.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the first one better.
This?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, you might set something up, that's all.
Well, let's do the other one then. Go take a look at it, James.
You might set something up this way, too.
Start over.
Getting back to the Briar win, I'm sure when David reflects back and is talking with his grandchildren, he can always say, I won my first Briar in a washroom. And interesting way things ended up for him, but certainly adding to his celebrity in this country.
No kidding. You know, we were at a banquet this last week, and somebody touched base that they believe he's the first curler to ever win with his fly down or something. So we've kind of chuckled over that one.
Now you can pick the yellow one around,
tap him to the back 12.
And freeze to...
And you won't even roll. You just stay right there almost.
Yeah, okay.
You try that?
You want to try to get to the nose?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Well, you know, yeah.
Well, he cleared the guy by about 1.5 feet.
So just backline hack?
Yeah.
Howard shot rock as James Grattan gets back into the hack here for his shot.
Well, it looks very much like their decision is a hack weight on the top yellow. To get the wrong kind of roll, though, a very good possibility here of setting up a triple. And Martin, you know how he likes to throw those.
Backline the hack.
Backline's fine.
Okay, backline.
Well, it's not bad. Well. Little more than backline. Right off. Ready.
Line.
Oh!
Weight's good.
Fans enjoying that Howard voice going a little out of key again.
Yeah, he went above and beyond the Call of Duty on that one.
Russ and his vocal cords taking all sorts of abuse here from the gallery, enjoying the banter going on.
That wasn't too bad. It's a peach. Huh? You can't get out of there. You hit these two. Ours can't do anything but knock that yellow one. Why not just hit it and sit 3? Sit 4. Well, we're going to jam there, right? Yeah, I got to kill our own. Do that. Hit and roll even. Well, the only problem is, you know, he does this, and he's totally buried. Like if he could hit it right on the beak. Mind you, then he's got the thin. See, this isn't pretty much no good right now. I can just throw like backline weight and stick it right there if you want. As long as we don't roll like 4 inches this way. Like the biggest problem is him making this double and sitting buried here. That's our concern, right? Well, make the double then. Yeah, make this. Make this. Hit it, just thin. Hey, third of a rock or something.
Hey, Randy, what are you seeing here?
Well, you know, Kevin's touched base on a few shots. You know, if he obviously makes this double here, Russ is going to be in a whole pile of trouble here. But Kevin's concern is that he's going to leave Russ something, and I don't think he can help but leave him a shot here. But probably the best case scenario, if he does make this double here, Russ is going to be in a lot of trouble here.
Let's run pretty straight. Out turn about here. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if that front one goes or not. I don't know. No. No.
It's pretty good.
Oh. Nice shot.
Worked out pretty good for Walchuk, the Walnut man. He makes that double and spins.
Good shot.
Hey, threw his favorite turn. I think Don's favored the out turn through the years, and threw that pretty good. Worked out quite well.
Just a touch thinner off the first rock. He gets the ideal spin.
Almost left Russ a triple here, though, if he...
Any kind of weight, I think.
Try to get over there.
There was fun.
Yeah. And Randy, you can attest to the fact that it's always great to have a third who can throw some tremendous rocks to set it up for the final two.
It definitely helps. You know, you take a look at the top teams in Canada, and I think all thirds on these teams can throw extremely hard weight. It just makes it that much easier for the skip.
Well, Randy, I'll draw it. You tell me what he's playing here.
Well, I believe he's playing the triple here. He's going to try to hit a quarter over half a rock there and hopefully get some spin off the right there, something like that. That's a pretty good job, Ed.
No. Oh! No, right off.
The yell roll right out of hand. Oh, that broke hard. That had to pick.
Oh, come on, guys. Yeah. What are we looking at? What happened to that?
Well, they haven't mentioned it picking up anything, but a little disappointed that leaves Kevin a little hit and roll here now, and sets him up pretty good.
Sure came hard at an inopportune time, especially when they started with a big whoa right away.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it picked. Just went all of a sudden.
Something?
I think had to have picked. Nose isn't horrible.
Russell not happy with that one at all.
No, again, you know, he's going to be looking at three rocks here. So he's going to have to make a good one on his last one.
And it's already 2-1 on the scoreboard. Yep. Kevin Martin in the lead. And he's the owner of the hammer in this end.
Carter! No!
Pretty much a direct hit as Russ Howard gets set for his final shot here. This could be
Kevin's only
so early in the game, the critical shot of the game.
I think Kevin's sitting, I'm not sure if they're sitting 2 or 3. It does have...
it would have a bearing.
It would have a bearing, but it looks like he's sitting 3 to me.
Yeah, I think that's all we have, eh? Then he's got the split for 3. It's not an easy one if we roll out.
Well, we'll find out what kind of an escape artist he is right here.
I'm pretty sure. It's close, though.
Okay.
That's looking like red all day.
It does, but the players are undecided. They think it's pretty close, but from up here, it looks like red all day.
Real close, though. I don't know if we have anything else anyway, do we?
No, that should move it normal.
Russ hoping that the Scottish translation of Howard into Italian translates into Houdini. He is in a bit of a jam here in this third hand, trailing by 1, and Kevin Martin with last rock.
I think it'll go.
Howard going for the roll, and the ideal roll would be all the way over to this area right in here and taking away that angle raise.
Down north. Yep. Hey! All right. Whoa. Oh. Hey! Oh. Oh. Yep. Oh. Oh. Wow. Whoa. Hey!
It's not bad.
Stayed out there.
Basically gives Kevin the double for 3 here. Just hits half a rock, and he'll kill both of Russ's rocks here.
Howard's voice cracking on him once again. Oh, we need more roll. Where is it?
Well, very momentous time for Russ Howard, and a change of life occurring here in the winter of Calgary.
Shouldn't curl either.
Well, you said it, Randy. When he drives this straight back, he might actually be able to use the other yellow one and roll to it.
To help him, for sure.
Definitely a Kevin Martin type of shot.
Yep, hard.
Last rock, third hand here for Kevin Martin.
Hard.
Puts it in. And sits 3.
2, maybe 3.
Close between those two.
Yeah. Very close. 2 for sure.
2 for sure, and that's a big 2.
Randy and Scott, we'd like to invite you as well to stick around, if you wouldn't mind, for another end and provide us with some expert analysis. And again, we'll talk as well about the upcoming challenges in Lausanne, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3 counter.
Not too sure how many.
Big start for Kevin Martin and his rink from Edmonton, Alberta, as they take a lead on Russ Howard and his foursome by way of Moncton. 5-1 through 3 ends of play. Semifinal play continues from Calgary.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over $21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
I can do this.
Wallpaper does not scare me.
I can do pretty much anything.
I hate this picture.
No job is too big. Home Depot makes it easy.
Go home with the right tools and you're done.
I made it beautiful.
How do you know so much?
I'm a gardener, I'm a plumber, I'm the floor tiler.
Gone.
I'm a supervisor.
I turned my garage.
She's my hero.
Back into a garage.
This is my house.
This is why I
Go to the Home Depot first.
Home Depot. First in home improvement.
Sunday on Global.
Do we need a 5th member? I'd like to add another one.
The Chosen 5 get down to business on Pop Stars at 8, followed by King of the Hill and The Simpsons.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Then, a simple sleepover leads to a complex adventure.
I'm screwed.
On Malcolm in the Middle, and at 10.
It was a crush.
Mulder and Scully search for a downed UFO.
They're out there.
On The X-Files, sci-fi, comedy, and pop stars in the making. Global's got it Sunday.
Early on at the Calgary Curling Club.
Bartlett's team there now with a 5-1 lead in this 4th end. And Don Bartlett, probably the only curler I know who has his own Bonspiel, the Don Bartlett Classic in Gander, Newfoundland. And Don wanted us to say hi to all his friends and relatives in Newfoundland, and they'll have that spiel again next year. They actually lost the final this year to this same Russ Howard.
That's pretty good, you know, when you have a bonspiel named after you and you go there and you take all the money home with you. Hopefully Don will be invited to the bonspiel this year. Last year he failed to do so, so hopefully he'll give us the call here.
Well, I'm sure you'll get the nod, and Newfoundland's always a great province to go and play in.
Grant Odisha lead for New Brunswick.
Well, there's no easy task here now for the Howard team to get back into it, and I know the Martin team quite well, and they'll certainly rip off as many guards as they can and take the game into the rings and try and crack the doubles and triples there. Randy, what would you do right now to try and get back in? You know this Martin team well.
You know, it's almost an impossible task, to be honest with you. The only way he's going to get back in this game is by having a little bit of luck on his side now. And, you know, like Kevin's trying to run the double here or peel this off, and, you know, if Carter happens to miss it, those are the type of breaks that Russ is going to need now.
Wow. Go, guys. Go. Okay, we got a piece.
Carter Rycroft with a big weight as well.
Well, that's what you talked about. A little smoke there, and he glides right by, takes two of his own.
Sort of a break like that. I hope I didn't jinx him by
Should be
saying
interesting
that.
end now.
Knock on wood.
Did I throw you wrong? Shot. Did I?
Well, plenty of smoke, but no action up front. All on the Reds' zone. Don't see him miss those two out there.
Go around the red one.
That's not bad.
Back 8.
We haven't, not a lot out here, eh?
Nobody's.
So watch that, Grant.
Yeah.
And a look at 43-year-old Rick Perrin, co-owner of Craft and Hobby World, and Celebrations by Wedgwood Boutique in Moncton. And I guess when you're self-employed, you get a chance to call your own shots in terms of time spent in wintertime. But as you guys know, the summertime is awfully busy making amends for all that time spent in curling rinks in the wintertime.
Absolutely. You know, having your own business does make it a lot easier. But like Scott touched base on, our employees have been fantastic, and can't say enough about them. There's a pretty good shot.
Good there, too. Almost hit it.
And player comparisons brought to you by Home Depot, first in home improvement, as we go head-to-head here ahead with the seconds.
Perfection was there for a while for Carter Rycroft as he was shooting the smooth 100% until that last peel. He's had Perrin's number so far.
Clean? Yeah. Oh, clean's good. Clean's good. Shot.
Well, I really feel from the start of the game, right in the first end, that Martin played a smart strategy here. He goes out wide, uses the keenitis on the side, and he sets his side guard from the outside in. And that really gives him a nice path to know how to bury coming outside in. It's a strategy very unique, but he uses it simply because of that nice keen ice on the sides.
That's you touch base on that. You know, the ice conditions allow him to do that, and you know, if you can throw the out turn or wide turn around a corner guard, it just helps that much more. It's a little more difficult to follow it down, and obviously they did it to perfection in the first end.
And if we wreck, we probably get the split. Same as it was last time you threw it. Oh. Weight's good.
Yep. Hard line. Hard line. Hey!
Rock starting to come here as it approaches the hog line.
Hey! Hey! Whoa! No bump, no bump.
Scott, question for you, commenting on this game. Do you guys, I know on your team, do you use a lot of the number system, and do you use the interval timing now that a lot of teams do?
Our team doesn't do a whole lot of timing with stopwatches. We have a communication system that we use between the front end and the back end when they're calling line. We have actually 11 zones. 3 are in front of the house. T-line is about a 7. If we want to throw it just through the house, we call it an 11.
Down normal, just down normal.
Whoa. Clean. Heavy board.
Whoa. Third, Don Walchuk.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
shot, Don. Give a couple of whacks.
Let's compare the thirds, Don Walchuk and James Grattan here as they go head-to-head as well.
Both thirds curling good numbers, Randy.
Pretty close percentage, really, and it, what we notice about percentages at the Brier, sometimes the scorekeepers don't totally understand what the teams are trying to do here, but when their numbers are high, they obviously haven't missed nothing, so those are pretty good numbers.
So statistically, not the entire story.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, line's good. Line's tight. Well, it's going to overbend. Yep. Well, right off. Top 12. Right off. It's going to come out in the open. Well.
And just having come from the Ogden where the World Juniors were being played and doing a lot of work with reading the stats there, it is often tough to know exactly what a skip wants, and you really have to understand a skip style to really be able to grade exactly what they're looking for.
Oh, for sure. Especially in our team, like, we do use a system of numbers for us, and a lot of times I don't even point the broom down what I'm calling it. I'll call out a number, and the boys know what I want, so the scorekeeper might not even have an idea what we're trying to do.
So in the event of a player trade in the future, you'd have to hand in your playbook.
Absolutely.
Back line. And no line yet.
Could be a break for Howard here if Walchuk misses this one.
Well, they could use a break.
No. Can't be wide there.
Can't be wide there. You heard the words of Kevin Martin.
He's important. He pushed right behind the other corner guard there, so Russ has got a chance here to get back in this game. If he can pick up a deuce or a three, even possibility here, he'll be right back in this.
Situation where almost nothing could almost materialize quickly into a three-ender. And we saw that in the Brier when you made that beautiful split in the 8th end against Kerry Burtnick, and all of a sudden a three-ender was right there, and you managed to get two in the 8th end, and that was really the key.
That was a big end for us, to be 2 up playing 9. Anytime you be up 2 up playing 9 against a lot of these teams, it's a pretty good position to be in. But it's still never enough points when you're on the receiving end of it, but definitely helps. Just a little heavy here on this shot, though. It's not.
Well, will Martin chase with a hit, or will he draw and freeze?
On that yellow back.
I guess so, eh?
Or freeze. I don't know.
I don't like to freeze. No sense giving them back the whole basket in one go. Shit.
Double's not even there next time.
No, that's the problem. We don't make either run back. This double's not there anyway because we jam it all day. I like the freeze. Lord hates a coward, eh? All right.
And that's an excellent line from Kevin Martin. There is a lot of courage that's needed to play top flight curling. There's a lot of times you got to say, well, I've got to have the courage to go and play that tough shot.
Well, especially when he's up 4 points, he doesn't want to, Kevin's concern is he doesn't want to leave the 2 yellow ones in the house there because they're potential points. But I think this is the right call, even though it's he doesn't like playing it. It's the right call. Anywhere in front of this, and he's out of the end.
Line's real good. Oh, line's real good. Freeze it. Still got the weight. Okay, whoa, still got weight. A lot of room.
Bartlett in charge of the weight.
Whoa. A lot of room. Go there.
Whoa, right off. Right off.
Lots of smoke on that one.
Real hard. Yep.
Shot, Kevin.
Bite of the button as we compare the numbers between the skips, Kevin Martin, who's had a terrific day, and Russ Howard, who has been up against it, and the numbers bear that out as well.
Russ has had the tough shots so far, trying to bail out of trouble a couple of times. And Kevin led her perfect so far.
You go here, it's not going to bend. I don't think it bends. It's all finished anyway. It just depends where you go. You can go anywhere within 2 feet and it'll go the same spot.
Go back. We're never going to get it that way.
Nah. Takes a while to get going. I think it's pretty easy to get the inside here.
But we're still only going to be one, eh?
All right. Well, you might be able to tap it.
Think the intern will go?
No. I don't know.
Well, with that long guard out in
You can
front,
freeze to it with the
Russ
intern.
Howard was talking about
I don't
how
think
do we
you can
get to
bump
the
it up.
inside of this stone right there and just move that past their own. He talked about perhaps the intern, but decided against it.
Yeah, the intern, I don't think he thinks it'll finish enough at the end. They've thrown a couple rocks there and it stays straight for till the last 20 feet there, but there is some late finish here.
Well, he rolled that right out of his hand.
Wow! Hey! Wow! Back line! Whoa! Hey! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Whoa!
Sneaks by the guard.
Whoa! Hard grip! Hard! Hard!
Feathers through the port for the direct hit. Sitting at least one.
Well, he's sitting. He's got good position here, and Kevin's going to have to be careful here that he doesn't leave him a hit there or a double for 4 here. So
that's the line he wanted, and the weight just needed a bit more finish coming around that guard. Wanted to get totally the inside of the red.
Plenty of backing, but Kevin indicates just in front of that shot rock to cut down on his losses. Prevent Russ from getting that big end.
Set for a clock. Nice fingertip touch right at the end by Kevin Martin. Going hog to hog on the stop clock. Rock clock would like to give us about 14 or 15 seconds here.
Are we bouncing?
We're bouncing.
That's not
no.
14.
No, finish hard, honey. Finish hard, honey. Okay.
that's a pretty good shot. It's I think all he's left is Kevin a difficult shot here for 2, and
finished really hard.
Actually,
you might have to go there for 2.
There's nothing, because even if I somehow got to that, it's not going out.
Weight.
Okay. That's not a big hole,
though. You just got to get by the red. This red here. This one is probably irrelevant.
You can tick off the red, Russ. Yeah, but you got to tick it pretty thin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Kevin's draw to the button. Where was he? He was middle 8. I think that's plenty.
I think that's lots.
Russ Howard alluding to the fact that the port isn't really all that big with that long guard out there.
Especially when you're down in the hack looking at it from the other end of the sheet.
For 2?
Yeah. He would have dearly loved the shot for 3 or 4 here, but this one's only for the deuce. But it's still a big count if he can get it.
This is, I believe, this is a tough shot here. He's going to have to throw this one, and the sweepers are going to have to be on the ball on this one here.
Yeah, looks like a lot. Lots of weight, Russ. Lots of weight.
No line, no line. Oh! Whoa!
We need some backing. Tick shot, maybe?
No, nothing.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's a pretty good shot.
It's an outstanding shot to get a must deuce and get his rink back into it. Randy Scott, we thank you for dropping by, and on behalf of all of us and the rest of this country, good luck in Lausanne, Switzerland, and regardless of what happens, we're so very proud of you, and congratulations on a tremendous year. 5-3 so far, Martin through 4.
The power of diesel is now...
Kill household germs. They don't. Just check the label.
For a better cleaner, reach for Mr. Clean. The big guy cleans and disinfects, so put him on your team.
No other leading liquid out cleans Mr. Clean. Why try anything else?
Here comes Silken. Silken will get the bronze medal ahead of Ann Marshall.
Silken, is everything all right?
Everything's just fine.
For more than 60 years, families like Silkins have been entrusting A&J Campbell Van Lines to move more than just their belongings. You could say they deliver peace of mind. A&J Campbell, Canada's largest coast-to-coast mover. Rock Advantage, brought to you by the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. As we look back to the fourth end, a must-draw here for Russ Howard, and not much room, but he feathered the port to hit the button.
Well, Paul, that's the key word, a must-draw. When you're down to Kevin Martin 5-1 already, and you get a chance for that deuce, boy, you really have to take advantage. And looked a little heavy at a hand on this one for Howard, but the weight came down just enough to settle into the top button area, and that closes the gap 5-3.
Talk about precision. Odisha and Perrin did not have to lay a lick to that rock. They merely had to observe. As we head back into fifth end play, and Russ, in an attempt here to steal and narrow the gap to 5-4, but Kevin Martin realizes he's going to be in for a game, but he's going to be on the offensive as well.
Good start for the Howard team, playing that guard right on the center line out in front, so they can come either way, in turn, out turn. And that rock played into the free guard zone and cannot be removed entirely from play until after the third stone at the end.
Or there.
I like there again.
Yeah.
And it was Russ Howard who really helped to change the game around it. And Randy Furby and his team of Pat Ryan around 1989, they could smack everything out of play. They were such a great hitting team with the old rules. So along came in 1990, the first time we had the draw rules in the Moncton 100, where you couldn't remove, the leads couldn't remove any rocks from play in the rings or out front. And then later on along came the 3-rock rule and the 4 as well.
Well, I remember talking with Kevin Martin at the Hamilton Brier 91, and he said it'll never fly. This is the way curling should be. Very much a traditionalist, and talking with him last night, he still believes that in his heart. But in terms of television and the rest of us here, there was no way that this game could go but anywhere but with rocks in play. And as a result, it's going to make for an interesting afternoon of curling.
Well, you're right. When this Martin team first heard about these draw rules and the free guard zone, they didn't like it. They liked that open style because it really helped their style of game. But Kevin really picked it up. He learned this draw game. He's been a good student, and now he teaches a lot of other guys how to play it.
Also talking about the juniors, and Ed, your observation that perhaps some of them do not have that big takeout weight that we see from Kevin Martin, and I heard Kevin saying that perhaps the coaching is going to have to change in certain directions to get these youngsters to learn how to throw that big takeout weight.
Interesting enough, I was talking with Kevin last night, and I said there's no junior in the world, even though they all use the no lift, that actually can throw the rock as hard as him. John Morris, I think, comes fairly close. Kevin says, well, they don't use quite the right style. They don't quite get their hips back far enough, don't quite get the right kind of push. And so, you know, I said, well, when you finally get old and retire, Kevin, maybe you'll teach the rest of us how to throw it that hard, particularly the juniors coming up.
At 33 years of age, Kevin is a way to go. Rick Perrin, second stone for the New Brunswick rink.
Way short.
Yep. Not a bad rock there, boys.
He didn't throw it.
He did the same thing at the other end, too.
Did he?
I think so.
He threw it 4 seconds.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind peeling this card right here. Okay? Just peel. Hard. Take.
Almost
a yellow bugger.
Almost disturbed those in the rings, and Martin didn't want that.
Affectionately referred to as the yellow bugger.
That's what I have.
Kevin's been quite animated here this afternoon in Calgary.
Taking more of our rocks out. Hey, we have to do that now, eh?
All right, play the come around. If you tick this, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
This end shapes up quite nicely for Howard. He's got what he wants. He's got some rocks in play, a guard in front. He needs to steal some points, trailing 5-3.
That's pretty good.
Yep. All right. Weight's good. Well then.
There should be some finish here as well. Ice being slightly dished in the middle. Should come to center.
Whoa! Whoa!
What's going on?
Not heavy enough.
Oh, man. Tough slugging for that front end. Or at least James Grant and Grant Odishaw and Rick Perrin had those two working hard.
Might pick it clean.
Even a nose hit's good.
Well, nose, no. Well, not if we don't get the yellow. Then he just bangs it and the yellow will be buried. Let's make the double. Make the double.
Waltrip runs down for a quick look to size it up as well.
Yeah, half's good too. Doesn't matter.
This rink will not hesitate to throw the big weight. In fact, enjoy the opportunity.
Well, they might lose their own back red, but they're not too worried about that. They'd still have one totally buried right in the front ring.
Whoa. Whoa.
Does he get it clean, or does he get his own red? Nudges it back. Oh, that's good for Howard. Back button. Now he can just freeze right in.
Thought I might get through there clean. It's all right.
Go there.
Should be good, eh?
Yeah.
Really, the worst thing that could have happened here for Kevin, just hitting that one back button, and Russ just jumps out and says, well, that's perfect now. In-turn freeze in there, and that'll increase the degree of difficulty for the Martin team.
Yep, hard, real hard.
James Grattan, third here for the Moncton rank.
2 ways on the tour to increase the degree of difficulty for the other team. Freeze one in like they're playing here, or go to the other team's weakness, which, you know, often could be the choice of turn.
Come on, guys, come on. Come on. Come on.
Case of both Rick and now James pulling the strings somewhat and coming up far shorter when the opportunities presented themselves. And this is allowed Kevin Martin to go back on the offensive once again.
Just not enough wheels under that one.
Yeah. Kind of weight.
Even if you get rid of this one, it's not the worst.
What kind of weight?
What do you want to throw? Down normal? A little more?
I was thinking of quieter.
The heck, we need to jam it.
Kill the back one if you can, eh?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Okay, if you want to throw down normal, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play around too much here. Just run the nose.
Yeah, just in case it goes wrong, maybe we want a little bit of action.
Hey?
Just in case it goes wrong, we want a little bit of action in the backpack.
Action.
Action, man.
Perfect.
Well, that could be dangerous eventually, but...
What's wrong there? Walter not thinking it was quite right, but that's perfect.
Not bad, I guess.
Now, could go there. Can't get all of them? Yeah, you can.
Looked like they might tick the red, but no, it was clean all the way.
Self-criticism, and Don, of course, wanting only the best, but
should be able to get two anyway.
Pretty good shot.
Peel. Hit it right about there.
Half or off, or?
No, a little less. Yeah, well.
If you're Russ Howard, do you really throw at the gambling boat and try a draw in there? You might give up 4, or do you do a little damage control here? Try for
that was my pool.
The double, perhaps triple.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. Peel.
And in the back of Russ's mind, the possibility that this game can get away from him in an awful quick hurry here in this end.
Needs a big shot here from James. All right, take the double. But certainly advantage Kevin Martin. Wanted less of this, and then he could have spilled the top 2 and had that Rocky Strut roll back and get the third one as well.
Johnny's right, but he had a lot more.
Oh, you're telling me, yes, you will.
Was it? Yeah.
Final rock, fifth end for Don
Plenty of
Waltrip.
weight. Line only. Tons of weight.
Mine's fine.
Wow, tons.
Where are we at?
T-line plus.
No. Oh, we're going to rack on the front
coming
red.
down. Coming down.
Oh.
Just stay put now.
Oh, must fix.
That pick, no doubt.
Oh.
Handle change started to spin a little bit more than what it had.
Pick.
Well, take a look at this one. Just barely squeaks by it. It just wraps itself around that yellow guard and cuts in big time.
And the left turn signal directly on from Don Walchuk, and now Russ will go back into the hack, and he's going to come at it.
Russ says to himself, I hope I can get the same kind of action just as soon as I get by those reds. If it'll do that, just make a left turn, go right in behind.
Line's good. Back 8. Well, no line.
They've been down weight in the last couple and just haven't been able to get them there.
Look, whoa, a lot of room. Wait, Yep.
There should be some finish here. There it comes.
Back 4 foot south of the tee line.
Well, normally you wouldn't want to go behind the tee line, but the thought there is we have to get hidden, says Russ Howard, no matter how deep we go. As long as we're shot stone, we can even go back 8.
14, that's back 4.
And Martin coming in there on the out turn. I'd just like to have his red one come right in there. He wouldn't mind moving that yellow one a little over sideways as well. Well, he's seen the line just played by Howard, so he'll have a pretty good idea of what he needs.
No line's pretty good.
The thing about these great tour players, they can go from the big, high, hard hit right on the next shot to the soft draw.
The delicate aspect of the game, and here the throw starts to come.
We're on the back one. We're on the back one.
Whoa.
Taps it back.
It's not just what you make, but it's what you leave. Perhaps he would have liked a bit of the outside roll because Howard can just plant the freeze dead on now.
And he'll come back with the identical shot from his first rock here in this midway point, the 5th end.
He's about 6 feet quicker there now, okay? Even short's good. He's got a tough two.
Howard coming in with the yellow. Wants that out turn just to come right in here. You'd like to just freeze right in there on top of it and follow that line.
What turns out to be a dangerous start to this end here, Ed, may not turn out to be so badly here for Russ Howard.
No line at all. Right. Nothing, guys.
Pending the outcome of this rock, of course.
Go to get there. We can't, Rick.
Oh, it's just hanging on him terribly. Just holding out there.
Yep. All right.
Needed more curl. He didn't get shot stone. Tough break for Russ there. It looked like he threw it right up the broom, but it just ran on him. It really hit the rails and ran straight for a while. Just trained right in on him and wouldn't move until the end.
Kevin going to attempt to draw that big port and get a portion of a 4 foot and perhaps the button here to edge out that second stone by Russ and get his deuce here in end number 5.
He's going to need a little bit of that husky button right there to get 2.
Piece of the nose will do it.
Should be there. Line's real good.
Line's good.
Played around with the hog line on that release. But the rule nowadays is that you got to let go of the rock before it's entirely crossed the hog line. So
not a lot of room.
A liberal rule for the players.
Good. T-line. T-line.
We're there. We're good. We're good.
T-line.
We're good. We're good.
What great judging by Barkham.
Oh, boy.
And it is the deuce.
Gets a piece of the Huskies' ear, and it is enough for 2. He just got 1 ear, but more than enough as Kevin Martin takes a 7-3 lead here at the midway mark. Lead, Don Bartlett, Grant Odeshaw, Carter Rycroft, and his counterpart, Rick Perrin from Moncton. As we head into the 3rd, Don Walchuk, and James Grattan, and of course the skips, Kevin Martin and Russ Howard. Will be back in a moment.
Okay.
about the same time, same place. It's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter. Another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
Could we cure diseases faster? Would we have even more beautiful art to look at? More inventions to make life easier? How many more great minds, great talents, and great achievements would there be if every person in this world were properly fed? At Cargill, we believe human progress isn't just made, it is nourished.
Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia.
Discover the sights and sounds that make us Canada's seacoast. In our music, in the excitement of our past, in our seafaring heritage, and in young hearts. It's all in our 400-page Doers and Dreamers Guide. Get your free copy today and visit us as soon as you can. Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast.
The #1 selling dandruff shampoo, Head & Shoulders.
No film, no residue, just soft, smooth skin. Olay Complete Body Wash with soap-free cleansers and aerated moisture that rinses clean. Complete Body Wash for the lightly moisturized feeling of clean.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over $21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
The 2001 Husky Players Championship is brought to you by Husky, leaders in fuel, food, and convenience. Kia, it's about time everyone had a well-made car. Home Depot, first in home improvement. AMJ Campbell Van Lines, official mover of Curling Canada and proud sponsor of Russ Howard. JVC, excite your senses. And by the Calgary Herald, get it daily.
And welcome back to the Calgary Curling Club, where through 5 ends of play, Kevin Martin leading Russ Howard by a score of 7-3, and Kevin well on his way perhaps to the championship final, which will take place on our global affiliates across this great nation of Canada at exactly 2 o'clock, and a first prize purse of $40,000 to the winner. Pleasure to welcome the promotions manager for Husky Oil, Bill Popplewell. And Bill, congratulations not only on the sponsorship, but a sponsorship that goes a way back in history with the sport of skiing, but especially here with curling as well.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. We go back probably 15 years in curling. We've been involved with curling way before the Olympics when they were here in Calgary. You go back to people associated with the men's side. We sponsored a team like Pat Ryan way back 14 years ago. On the women's side, we've sponsored Penny Ryan. We sponsor one of the current Olympic trial qualifiers, Michelle Ridgway out of Regina. And we've got many, many other things that we're doing in curling. We sponsor a number of super leagues across the country, and been involved in the Briars and in the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and Husky's very, very pleased to be involved that way, Paul.
It has been a terrific vehicle this sport has in terms of selling fuel and doing what Husky does best.
Actually, it's a tremendous vehicle. One of the natural things in this country is every community has a curling rink or a hockey rink, and in curling, we've got many rural retailers across this country, and that's just like Mother Nature's in this country, and one of our fuels is Mother Nature's fuel, is ethanol fuel, and it's tremendous for your vehicle. It's good for the environment. And if you also have a light truck or a car, we've got a new product, Diesel Max Fuel. It just adds great performance to your vehicle. So, Paul, there's a tremendous impact on our retailers when we do these types of events across the country also.
Great thanks once again, not only to yourself, but to Husky Oil. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Bill Popplewell, Promotions Manager for Husky Fuel. And we'll be back at the Calgary Curling Club in just a moment. Martin leading Howard by 4 through 5 ends of play.
The power of diesel is now even more powerful with the all-new Diesel Max. Fill up at Husky or Mohawk and improve the overall performance of your diesel-powered car or truck. Diesel Max makes engines run stronger, smoother, and perform longer with less maintenance. And Diesel Max burns cleaner, reducing harmful emissions over conventional diesel fuels, showing a big improvement in mileage. It's time for Diesel Max, improving performance and saving you money. Available only at your Husky and Mohawk retailers.
Got one thing on your mind? Sports from the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ. Looking to make a change? Careers in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ.
As we get prepared to head to the 6th end of play, Kevin Martin leading Russ Howard from Moncton, New Brunswick by 4. 7-3 is our score. And coming up by the numbers brought to you by Home Depot, first in home improvement as we compare both rinks through 5, Ed.
Well, as we see on the tour quite often during the year, it's just not percentages that win. It's really skipping ability and being able to play the strategy that you want in the game, and it really has been Martin with their high percentages who has really dictated the strategy of the game right from the opening whistle in the first end. And, you know, Martin figures, well, I don't care how good Howard plays. If I can get the strategy I want, we can win.
As we start off the second half of this first semifinal match, and Don Bartlett, the first rock of the 6th end.
They make sure they won't get this one out in front and do any favors for Russ Howard, so they'll try to go top 4 for it.
No. Might die.
Back of the tee line, and this, of course, one of 2 semifinal games that will be played here today. The second will go later on this evening at the Calgary Curling Club, and Martin and Howard on ice now, but later on this evening, it's Wayne Madaw and Peter Corner, a family feud, cousins of sort, and a pleasure to welcome to the broadcast booth as well Wayne Madaw and Peter Corner as well, who will take place, and this is going to be interesting. You come all the way out to Alberta for an all-Ontario matchup and a replay of what might have happened at the Tankard last year.
Yeah, you know, it's nice that we get a chance to play Pete. You know, we play each other a lot all year long, but it'll be a fun game, I'm sure.
Peter, what kind of game do you expect here tonight? Are you going to go at this man right from the get-go?
Well, we'll see what happens. You know, certainly a lot will dictate the end result of this game out here today. But, you know, we're here to play, and, you know, we just got to give it our best shot.
And, Ed, as you can allude to toward Peter, there's a lot on the line here for you tonight. Not only a chance to get to the championship, but an Olympic berth in terms of the trials in Regina.
Yeah, that's right. That's our goal. You know, we came here with that goal in mind, and, you know, it looks like we might have that opportunity tonight.
Well, Wayne, you already have a spot in those trials, and so you can kind of freewheel a little bit in the game tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll be playing our normal style, trying to get really aggressive, and you know, every end make Pete think about it that he's going to have to throw a big shot, and that can determine whether or not he gets an Olympic spot or not. So the more we can make him think about it, the more fun it'll be for us.
Well, as I've heard you say before, you'll probably wait for the first guard to stop, and they just go straight in behind.
Yeah, that's what we'll try and do. You know, we're not going to. We're here to have some fun. We've curled lots this year, and you know, the fact that we're still playing this weekend is just a credit to the 3 guys I play with and how well they've played this weekend and all year long.
Peter, coincidentally enough, as we talk about Wayne's tactic, the same goes for you as well. Now, it'd be great to get into this final, but I'm sure the years are going to be pinned back, and you're going to be going for them as well, knowing that whatever happens, that you may get another chance to get that trial berth versus Russ Howard.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. Hopefully I can just win one game and get there, but you know, if we have to worry about another game tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow.
Well, that was a big win for you over the Greg McCauley team, last year's world champion. And the first 3 ends were just blank. Nobody wanted to take a chance. And Pierre Charette, your third, mentioned that you played it that way on purpose.
Well, we kind of knew Greg was going to play awfully defensive, and we thought we'd just try and stay as patient as we could with him. And I was getting a little antsy around the 3rd and 4th end, and finally I threw a center guard, and he went around it, and we started to have a bit of fun. And it was a good game from then on.
Win an extra end, and finally took him out in the extra.
Yeah, we did. I was thankful I didn't have to throw my last rock in that one.
Wayne, looking back at the season, have you two gone at each other other than provincial championships? In terms of matchups, what number will this be here this evening in Calgary?
This will be our 5th matchup of the year. You know, we've played our fair share this year.
No surprises, Peter?
No surprises. No, we had lots of fun throughout the year, and Wayne got us a couple times, but no, they're a good team, and they're tough to beat, but I enjoy playing them.
The biggest thing is Pete took a whole bunch of money out of our pockets the last time we played, so we'll be going hard to get some of those dollars back.
It hurts, and yes, a grudge going into this evening's match. Loser guaranteed of at least $10,000, but an opportunity for the winner to move on, for the opportunity to go at $40,000, and the way things are going, that might be against Kevin Martin. Peter, pretty good end to this spiel for you people. You beat Kevin late yesterday, and as Ed alluded to, a tremendous match against Macaulay, which started off rather tentatively, 3 blank ends, but you held your cards close to the chest, and eventually things did open up.
Yeah, we had a lot of pressure on us yesterday. You know, we had to beat Kevin to get into the quarterfinals and avoid a playoff game. And then last night, again, we played a great game against the Macaulay rink. He was very defensive, and he forced our hand a little bit, and we were able to pull that one out.
Wayne, for you, any special strategy that you play against Peter? I know last year in the Ontario finals, he really seemed to counterpunch what you guys really are able to do with your great draw team. Anything specific that you're going to design for him tonight?
Well, the big thing last year was I missed a lot of shots, and I couldn't hit the rings with draw weight, and you do that with any team, you're going to lose. So, you know, the basic thing about playing Pete's team is you come out and you just try and curl 100%, and, you know, if you curl 100%, you're going to have a pretty good chance to win. So, it really doesn't matter that much about the strategy. Just try and make all the shots you can, and, you know, hope come the end of the game that you have the last shot to win it.
Talking about that number 100, I know your team, and in particular also the years you played, both of you played with Russ Howard. How many times has your team gone over that 100,000 mark, counting the official winnings on the tour and also things like skins games?
Oh, well, Pete and I have been pretty fortunate. You know, the 5 years we played with Russ were unforgettable. We had phenomenal years. We had years where we barely lost any games. We had 4 years in a row there where we won over 100,000, and then I'm probably about 6 of the last 7 years with this team I've been over 100. So financially I've done okay, but if Pete manages to beat us today, that'll be 2 big dollar games he's beaten us this year, so I expect a heck of a good Christmas present from him.
Give you a little more ice. It moved a little, huh? It moved a little, yeah.
And as we look at the money board through part of the fall and well into the year 2001, Wayne Madonna, who we're talking with, was $61,950. A nice hobby to carry through the winter and make ends meet come the summertime up in Midland.
Yeah, it sure doesn't hurt. You know, it helps keep, you know, with the prices of gas going up in Ontario, it helps keep gas in the vehicles and the toys and, you know, whatever else you need, a little extra spending money to buy your children some presents and stuff like that.
Peter, we look back at both you curlers and just a tremendous history. Is there one event that might stand out more than the other? And I know the World Championship was great, but perhaps you might compare it to your success in Ontario as a skip and getting to the Brier last year. Would they compare at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I never dreamt that I was going to be skipping in the Brier so soon, just because I didn't know I was going to be skipping last year, and I really didn't have any decisions. I had to skip because they're just my team with Russ moved to New Brunswick, and I was forced to skip, so got awfully fortunate to get to the Brier, and that was one of my highlights for sure.
Well, let's take a look back to last year in the provincial championship. Sorry about this, Wayne, but even play and Peter Corner winning the provincial championship at the expense of his cousin.
He just has to hit and stay right down the center lane, and he does it perfectly and gives it the high five there and on his way to the Brier as a skip.
As Ontario gets itself a police escort to the Brier a year ago. Wayne, we ask you the same question, a 2-time world champion as a skip, but looking back to your days with the Russ Howard rink, that had to be special as well 8 years ago.
Yeah, you know, those years were a lot of fun, and like I say, those were unforgettable years. And, you know, Pete and I played together for some 14, 15 years, and, you know, to pick a highlight out of any one of those years, you know, it's even go back to the time where Pete and I won the Ontario Juniors back in '87, you know, that was one of the biggest turning points for us, and probably, you know, I look back at my whole career, it's probably one of the biggest highlights was the year Pete and I qualified for our first men's provincial right out of juniors, and, you know, went right through the qualifying without a loss, and I just thought that was the greatest thing in the world at that time in my life.
Well, let's take a look back to last year in the provincial championship. Sorry about this, Wayne, but
An addition for your team this year, Peter, bringing in Pierre Charette at third. And what's he meant to your team? Todd Brantwood's moved down to second.
Yeah. Pierre's a very intense individual, as we all know, and he loves the game. You know, he can't. He's just so passionate about playing curling, and you know, he keeps us all intense out there, keeps us focused, and he's been a real asset to us this year. We've had a great year.
And Wayne as well with your rank, no shortage of experience. Tremendous third with Graham, and Ian Tetley bringing a couple of the World Championships earlier as well by way of Al Hackner. So this is going to be a star-studded field on the ice here in Calgary tonight.
Yeah, you know, it is. You've got a great game out here with Russ and Kevin, and you know, Pete and I have you know, done our fair share. So there's no lack of people that are familiar with the game anyway.
Okay. It's tough to get out of there.
Well, it can't be a whole lot of fun out there if you're Russ Howard now and you're trailing by 4 and you've got this
Well, I'd say we're going to
Kevin Martin team throwing some bombs.
Yeah, one of Kevin's patented high hard ones here. This one will be smoking. It'll just be whether or not he lets it go before the Husky sign halfway down the ice.
Can't be trying to pick it.
Can't hit a half rock that way? Not the one back one?
Yeah, just there's only a little bit of separation.
And the first of skip rocks here for Kevin Martin. Peter, in your match in pool play today, you let Kevin get a chance to start throwing this big weight. Seemed to be fairly many rocks in play during the course of the day.
Yeah, I tried hard not to let Kevin throw those big bombs, a lot like Wayne's team does, because you know when they're throwing the high hard ones that you're probably losing the game. So I just tried to keep that game close, and it came down to last rock, and we were lucky to pull that one out.
Well, good words. There's not a lot of mercy shown when they start throwing those high, hard bombshells, and there's a lot of granite flying around. Martin not real lucky on that one, though, as he spun it in behind cover.
Get in there. Yeah, I'd say Russ has a chance for 3 here now anyways, if he makes something half decent.
Probably worth a try.
You know, he really can't play simple and just go for his 2 because he's still down 2 without last rock. And only 4 ends to go against Kevin. That's probably not that good.
I don't know what's like out here. I think it's worth a try.
It's better to show him just a little piece.
Why?
If you get behind completely, he's got the yellow one.
The race?
No, you can see all of that yellow one, eh? If you're buried completely, he'll just pick that out anyway.
What do you think here? The last.
Russ taking a page out of Martin's book here, coming away from the outside in behind a corner guard.
Just a wait. Well, Rick, lots of weight. Well, line's good. Whoa. Lots of weight.
It's heavy.
Whoa. Back 12. Whoa. Gotta wait for it. Yep. Whoa.
Through.
Whoa. All right.
Howard first and third. Martin second and fourth shot.
There too.
Been a frustrating game, Ed, for Russ Howard here. Just not quite on the mark, struggling here, of course. And given the situation confronted him at each and every end, but they've been battling an uphill sheet.
Well, I've played this Martin team before when they get a hit, and it's not a whole lot of fun because you try and do everything not to set them up for a double, but no matter what you do, it always seems to be there.
Yeah, Russ maybe let Kevin off the hook there, you know. Russ preached to Peter and I for years and years and years, you can't throw those draws heavy, even light's okay, and, you know, Russ broke his own rule there.
I think Russ just thought it was a little heavier out there in the weeds, and in fact, it's not. It's pretty much true. And
rule number 23, page 7, don't be heavy on a draw there.
Hard, yep.
Hard! Hey. Oh, what a shot.
I think Kevin likes
them both. How to break their heart. Got them all.
Kevin knows that was just a real good break there.
Shit. Thought we were sticking over there.
But you were in those breaks.
Oh, you're causing all kinds of excitement when it doesn't need to be caused.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't want to rack, give him 4.
Russ looking for the blank here, and so tonight it'll be the battle of the cousins. Wayne and Pete, and You guys have been curling against each other since you were youngsters, and there'll be another time tonight.
Okay. Yeah, we played together a lot through juniors and men's, so it wasn't until late in our career that we actually started to face each other and had lots of fun.
R.Howard hits and sticks and narrows the gap, but Kevin Martin firmly in command here through 6 ends of play in Calgary, and will return to southern Alberta in just a moment.
From what view? It has exact.
The power of diesel is now even more powerful with the all-new Diesel Max. Fill up at Husky or Mohawk and improve the overall performance of your diesel-powered car or truck. Diesel Max makes engines run stronger, smoother, and perform longer with less maintenance. And Diesel Max burns cleaner, reducing harmful emissions over conventional diesel fuels, showing a big improvement in mileage. It's time for Diesel Max, improving performance and saving you money. Available only at your Husky and Mohawk retailers.
I can get
more masking tape,
more concrete,
more plaster,
more of these, maybe even more dirt,
more lawn,
more of this, more of that. Maybe I could get 3 more feet.
I would like 4 more of those.
When I go to Home Depot, I can save money, and I can get more stuff.
A lot more than I would have expected.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is why I go to Home Depot first.
Home Depot, first in home improvement.
You won't believe your mouth with this antacid tablet.
That's amazing.
Dissolved almost immediately.
Like, it's gone.
It's Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables, a different kind of calcium carbonate tablet for heartburn.
It dissolves quickly when you put it in your mouth. Very quick.
Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables dissolve faster and more completely than Tums.
Didn't have to dig it out of my teeth. It's gone.
Maalox Quick Dissolve. Finally, a quick dissolving antacid tablet.
Quick dissolve. Maalox.
How the years, they fly by, fleeting glimpses, moments in our lives. Gotta hold on to them, catch them while you can. These are the moments, CBC holds the moments of our lives.
And welcome back to the Husky Players Championship. 6 ends in the books here at the Calgary Curling Club. And Kevin Martin from Alberta, Edmonton specifically, leading Moncton's Russ Howard by 3, 7-4, and joined in the booth as well for the past 2 ends by former world champions Wayne Middaugh and Ed Lukowich as well, and Peter Corner. But tonight it is going to be Middaugh versus Corner. And Wayne, for you, you've been in the money the last few years, a finalist last year, a champion 2 years ago, and it's going to be a challenge here tonight to get back to that championship and perhaps get a chance to revamp yourself against this rink from Edmonton.
Yeah, you know, Kevin beat us last year and won one of those big Olympic spots, and you know, it was a long summer having to think about that game and getting beat. But you know, it was nice that we were able to start the season off quick and win our Olympic spot back, and so the year's been a little more relaxing after that.
Okay. Good shot, Don.
The Olympic trial berth's coming up in December in Regina, a coveted berth and an opportunity to get to Utah. And well, Jeff Stoughton is there, and we go right down the list. Former world champions, Brier champions as well, and right at the very bottom, one to come, and Peter Corner hoping very much that his rink is going to occupy that spot and perhaps get a chance to win an Olympic medal.
Yeah, let's hope so. You know, I lost a tight game against Wayne in Regina this year, and it wasn't one of my better efforts, and you know, Wayne ended up going on and getting the spot, and here we are again. So hopefully we can grab our spot today.
You've won Briers, you've won world championships. What would an Olympic medal and specifically gold mean to the long list of accomplishments for both you people?
I definitely think it's the biggest thing in sports. You know, you can go anywhere in the world, and it doesn't matter whether it's curling or not, but everybody knows what an Olympic medal is. Winter, summer, it's an Olympic medal, and you know, I think it just would be the greatest achievement ever for any athlete to be able to achieve that. And you know, I can't say how great of an experience I think it would be to just be able to go.
Peter?
Yeah, I agree. It would be the ultimate curling experience. You know, we waited a long time, I think, for curling to be a full medal sport and in the Olympics, and it's very exciting for all of us to have that opportunity.
I remember years ago talking with George Carries, who curled lead for Mike Harris in Nagano, and you know, Mark Messier did not get a chance to play hockey in Nagano, and George always said, Mark may have the Stanley Cup rings, but I've got an Olympic medal. And something to reflect back upon proudly, as certainly Ed, you can, in the first ever Olympic curling event here in Calgary in 1988.
1988, and that was a fantastic one. Calgary did a great job. And I just came from the World Junior this week, which was held in Ogden, and that's where the curling facility is for the Salt Lake Games in 2002. And it's dressed up very nicely, looked real good. The ice was fantastic. They got the Olympic stones. Those were used in the World Championships in Scotland last year, and there wasn't a bad rock in the whole pile. So it really looks like it's going to be a fantastic Olympics when it finally reaches there in February.
Throw. And as often as we head into the international games as Canada is favored, Mike Harris realized it, and Ed yourself, when it comes down to that one game against a top-notch European rank, there's no guarantees of gold at any level, especially at the elite level in the Olympics.
Well, although Mike Harris didn't have his best final, certainly in Nagano, you got to give full credit to the Patrick Hurleyman team from Switzerland. They curled an outstanding final, and they've got a good chance to be back there again. Already Lindholm from Sweden has got a spot. Hemming McMillan from Scotland will represent that country in the Olympics, so it's going to size up to be great. But first of all, we have our trials here in December, and they're going to play the 4-rock rule, so everybody's ready for it internationally. And what do you think, Wayne, about playing the 4-rock as opposed to 3? And are we going to perhaps see it at that change over in the Brier, too, so it's uniform across?
I think we have to. You know, it's really a disadvantage for our teams to play one rule all year long, and then for 1 week of the entire season, they have to go and play the 4-rock rule. So I know Randy Furby right now is brushing up on his 4-rock rule and trying to come up with a strategy, because it is a very different game, and you know, so there is a bit of a disadvantage. So you know, I really hope that all the cash deals next year on the WC2, on the World Curling Tour, you know, look at going to the 4-rock rule for next year, just to you know, hopefully train our one team that much better, so that whoever it is that has that flag on their back is that much better prepared come the Olympics.
Yeah, and I agree. I've never skipped in the 4-rock rule before, and I would really enjoy the challenge of all the rocks in play, and it just forces you to play aggressive, and I think we are at a disadvantage not being able to play it on a regular basis, and I think we should be adopting a rule similar to the international rule.
Looking back to Thursday, gentlemen, as well, the Players Association met, and the turnout was overwhelming, in excess of 80 curlers. And the game, Ed, thanks to you and many others, has certainly progressed in this new guard that is carrying on. Certainly up for big changes financially, and in the direction that this game is headed in the new millennium, Wayne.
Yeah, you know, Huskies come on this year and, you know, really helped us out, and, you know, brought our tour, or kept our tour in the forefront, and, you know, hopefully Husky will stay on, and, you know, they've been a great company to deal with this weekend, and they will keep our tour, you know, in the forefront of the game and show that, hey, the best players play on the World Curling Tour, and that's where you want to be if you want to be a top curler.
Well, no doubt, before we had the tour on television, I think all curling fans sort of thought that, well, curlers just got to the Brier and showed up there. They didn't realize the fantastic season that goes on in September, October, November, and December with all of these tour events in Canada, the U.S., and in Europe as well.
Yeah, the biggest thing this year was, you know, come October, November, everybody kept asking me, when's the curling going to be on again? And I said, well, unfortunately not this year, but, you know, it still looks like it's going to come back next year and be on again. So, you know, it's something I'm looking forward to, and it'll keep our interest all up with everything that's going on in the game.
Well, it's certainly a good practice for you, Wayne, getting ready for the trials, having all those fields early in the year. You guys will really have your, you know, have a chance to hone your skills and bring in some extra cash as well.
Yeah, the key is, like I say, that hopefully those fields look at going to the 4-rock rule to try and train whatever team it is, like I said, to be the best team they can be, and you know, so that would help the curling, and you know, I think any field that does that would definitely be at the forefront of curling, and you know, it might entice some more people to go too.
Wow, here's a rare occurrence. Oh, you don't see Donnie Walter too often, the king of peel. Knows what.
I don't think I've ever seen Don Walchuk peek a center guard like that before.
Well, he is human after all.
Wayne, following the Brier, was there an emotional recuperation period for yourself and the rest of the rink? It was a great championship for you people, but I know when you go into an event like that, you expect to come out on top. How was it the immediate few weeks beyond your time in Ottawa?
You know, it wasn't too bad because, you know, we came right here afterwards, and it's been such a hectic season in our house. You know, Sherry and I haven't spent a weekend. Last weekend was the first time we've both been home together since September. So, you know, it's been hectic for us. It was actually kind of a nice and extremely relaxing. Once it was all over, it was like, okay, we get a chance to enjoy some time together and enjoy the season and what we've done and our accomplishments.
And refocus on family.
Yeah, rather than looking back and saying, okay, we didn't win. Both of us had goals for the year, and we both accomplished them. You know, we got our Olympic spots. We made a bit of money. We made it to the national championship. So, you know, we're both very pleased with our years. The fact that we didn't win, you know, it wasn't that big a deal. It's we got what we wanted out of the year. So.
Oh.
I think Russ thought he was tight there. It sounds louder up here than when you're sweeping, wasn't it? All those years I remember sweeping for him, I always listened for Glenn's voice.
I don't remember listening to him.
The tune-out factor.
Well, one thing for sure is very unusual. There was your team in 1993 winning the Worlds together. Now you're all skips. You got Russ and Glenn. Glenn is Russ skips out of Moncton and Glenn in Ontario, and both of you. So that's very unusual. Everyone's up on the tee line now.
Yeah, I think it is quite a story, I think, for all of us to be skipping at this level and being successful. And it just shows you how strong that team really was and why we were so successful.
Well, there was all the federal legislation to break you people up. It just wasn't fair.
Could be a rub. Wow. This lucky is as lucky goes. And Martin apologizes, says, sorry, Russ.
Yeah, Kevin's been getting no lack of breaks the last two ends, and you know, and that's all part of the game of curling. It's half an inch here, half an inch there, and you know, you might not always win or lose games because you were outplayed. You just can get a couple bad breaks or good breaks like that, and make all the difference in the world.
Peter, Glenn Howard telling us last night that the biggest adjustment for him taking over as skip was not only reading the ice, and Ed alluded to it as well, being able to read your players and their deliveries and how they handle the ice as well. How's the adjustment been for you?
The first couple of years, I think I struggled at it a little bit. Just wasn't used to focusing on the rocks coming at you at a different angle. And but the last couple of years, I think I've been able to get a good read on my guys and figure them out. Sometimes I slip up every now and again on some calls, but it was a lot of work. Certainly have to stay patient out there and stay focused.
Tight, biting. Never saw you.
All right. Top of the 12 and partially hidden. Wayne, Peter, thank you very much, and we wish you both the luck tonight. It's going to be a great semifinal match, and not sure how it is going to turn out, but either way, you're going to be friends when all is said and done, and one of you rinks are going to be certainly much richer, and of course that will take place at the Calgary Curling Club this evening, 7 o'clock. And for those of you who are watching on across the country and might want to get an indication of how things are turning out, you can always dial us in by way of the website. Final rock here for skip Kevin Martin in this 7th end.
Yep, hard. Real hard. Hard! Hard! Whoa!
Got the jam.
Got the jam, but does he get lucky and roll it far enough? Doesn't look like it. It's one yellow. A steal for Russ Howard. A steal of one.
Rare break for the Moncton rink, but they're back within 2 through 7 ends of play. Russ Howard trailing by 2-7-5, and we're back in Calgary after this.
The power of diesel is now even more powerful with the all-new Diesel Max. Fill up at Husky or Mohawk and improve the overall performance of your diesel-powered car or truck. Diesel Max makes engines run stronger, smoother, and perform longer with less maintenance. And Diesel Max burns cleaner, reducing harmful emissions over conventional diesel fuels, showing a big improvement in mileage. It's time for Diesel Max, improving performance and saving you money. Available only at your Husky and Mohawk retailers.
You air your house, you shut it up, and trapped odors start to reemerge, giving it that lived-in smell once again. But not with Febreze. Febreze cleans away odors trapped in almost any fabric, You can safely spray everything from expensive curtains, couches, and carpets to bedding, boots, and ball gowns, so your home stays fresh as a breeze. And relax. Febreze is as gentle on sensitive noses as it is on your fabrics. Febreze stops odors from making a comeback anywhere in your house.
I know a lot of things now that I didn't know before.
A real man can fix toilets.
I don't know everything.
Nice to know things are done right because you did it.
This is everything I ever wanted.
He knows everything there is to know about everything.
Did you listen to the guy?
We go to Home Depot for advice anyway.
I live for Saturday.
I asked the people at Home Depot, and they told me how to do it.
They improved me. I improved my house.
This is why I come to Home Depot.
First.
Home Depot. First in home improvement.
Introducing the Polaris Sportsman 500 HO with a new high-output engine and 20% more power. The world's best-selling automatic ATV just got better.
Kevin Martin and Russ Howard, no strangers to one another as we take a look back at their Brier record beginning back at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton in 1991 when Russ was curling out of Ontario. Kevin, of course, here in Alberta, and it continued to Regina and Saskatoon. Quite a rivalry.
And there was that stretch when Wayne and Peter were playing for Howard in around 92, and in that time when it was really, really tough for Martin to beat Howard. He had a lot of trouble with him, but he's really kind of got his number over the years.
Fan favorite here in Calgary this weekend has been the little husky puppy dog, and the various rinks taking part have had fun tossing those into the stands.
Should be lots now. T-line. Make sure. T-line.
Lead Don Bartlett.
Okay. Easy. Clean it.
Conservative play here by Kevin.
Just clean. Just
They have this stone in the rings, away from that guard placed by Howard, just off the center line. They steal by Russ Howard. He was kind of mean to his brother Glenn here. He beat him twice, and I'm still trying to keep Glenn in the competition.
Well, seniority does speak for itself, and talking with Glenn, they had not met since, Glenn said, since he was 15 years old playing schoolboy, and just in a fun spill up in the Midland Penetanguishene area, but not since then, which is hard to believe. But when you're playing third for your brother all that time, not much opportunity to curl against each other, and Glenn's saying it's still a learning process for him at skip.
Well, they had an amazing game here. The first time they met, they traded four-enders, back-to-back four-enders, just being nice to each other. Now, for Russ Howard, he's really just got to go to the wall now and gamble all the way. Getting late in the game, the eighth end, and he trails by 2 without the hammer, so he's really got to go after it.
By the Numbers, brought to you by Home Depot, first in home improvement, as we look at Grant and Don for the respective ranks here in their comparisons.
Well, there's no misses going on there. They're really setting the table each and every end. And as I talked about earlier on, you don't get too many misses with these top teams on the tour. So you really have to learn how to beat a team in strategy-wise, even when they're curling a terrific game against you.
Don Bartlett with the big weight. Neither lead, as the graphic indicated, have missed a draw shot. So they've been absolutely perfect, whether it's in the rings or out top.
Howard will change turns, but still look for the guard.
Good call, no mistake this time, all field.
Second stone, Rick Perrin for the New Brunswick rink.
Wants to keep this high. Nice would be about halfway between the hog line and the rings into that 15-foot area.
Well. I thought it was.
Quite a battle numbers-wise for the seconds. Rick Perrin from the Moncton, New Brunswick rink, and Carter Rycroft from the Edmonton, Alberta rink. And here's how those numbers add up.
Terrific numbers by 22-year-old Carter Rycroft.
On any given day, 89% for anybody isn't bad, but when you're going up against a curler like Carter's caliber as well, and he has not missed a shot.
We've been lucky to have Carter on a lot of games during during last year on the tour and a few in the skins game, and he's just a tremendous young player, and he just has really what I think is the ideal delivery. He comes out and it just repeats over and over again. He really comes out at the broom, puts the turn on nicely. Doesn't fiddle with the rock too much on the release, and he's really square when he comes out at the broom.
That's good. No, more weight.
Line's tight.
Just over that.
Just clean it.
Clean it.
Just clean only.
Over curling.
I still think that's a bad rock.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. If you had to use these again, I'd give you that one and the one you got.
He thinks both of his rocks are just curl more.
Who?
Rick.
He's always light.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a way to miss that shot, Howard wanted to miss it by keeping the rock on the center line, so that even if Martin gets to the back one, there's still a center guard to hide behind.
Rycroft with the big booming white and batten down the hatches here as he just wants a piece of this and spin both out of play and will accomplish that goal.
It was an either-or. Throw the big weight. If you get the back one, fine. You get the guard, all right, too.
It's only 2 points, but Kevin with a bit of a cushion here as we head into the twilight stages of the semifinal matchup. We are in end number 8. Kevin has the hammer, and Russ forced into a situation of having to steal.
But a steal here for Howard would really tighten it up.
Clean it.
Mine's all right.
Well,
just clean.
Sit down. Sit. Shut.
And Sidded finally does, and perfectly guarded.
At least if you move it off there, the guard
Let's
is
check
over
out the
further.
numerical analysis for the thirds here. James Grattan from Moncton and Don Walchuk from Edmonton.
Maybe not.
Yeah, those numbers are good for Grattan, but he's had a few times when he hasn't had the ideal positioning on his shots with the hack weight and the draw-ins.
Donnie, of course, with a higher percentage of his shots going toward the hits, and here's another hit upcoming.
He yelled that it caught something right out of his hand, but
he's got enough.
It still ran the line straight down. He gets the peel.
Remember back to that 1991 Brier and Hamilton and Kevin Martin getting an early lead against Randy Wojtowicz from Saskatchewan, and it was just run them back end after end after end. The capacity crowd at Copps Coliseum that day wasn't pleased, but the end result did justify the means for Kevin Martin winning that first Brier championship.
And that was with Martin's other team. He had Kevin Park at third.
Line's good, guys.
Dan Petrick at second.
Well,
line's fine.
Well, Rick. Oh, your line's good. Well, just clean. Well.
No.
Well. Yep. Shot.
Kevin asking for the one more peel here from Don Walchuk, but I'm pretty sure you'll see that if the same situation occurs and it's Martin's first shot, then he'll make an attempt to play hack weight to the back one. And it was in 1989 at the Saskatoon Brier that I think Don Walchuk went through the entire Brier without ever missing a peel. And that was the good old days of hitting, so there was a lot of that going on.
Good throw.
The winner of this afternoon's semifinal match will advance to the championship tomorrow, and the money breakdown is rather overwhelming. The champion will take home $40,000. The runner-up a very healthy $20,000. The semifinalists here today, even if you lose, guaranteed of at least $10,000, and that's to go with that round-robin win, each worth $800. And above and beyond all of this, at least for Russ Howard and Peter Corner later on tonight, the opportunity to win that final trial berth for the Olympics in Regina next December.
I'd like to see Russ bring this one just a little bit tighter.
That's tight.
Well, line, Rick.
He might be way tighter. He's got lots of weight.
Well, not yet.
Can't touch it.
Clean?
Well.
Clean?
This has got rings written all over it. Will it stop in time?
Yep. Oh, well, no, that's fine.
It does, nicely. A little tighter, that's good. Had to be tighter because been a long guard, and Martin had been able to see a little bit of the back one, and he would come after it with hack weight.
Nice shot for Russ. Kevin Martin, Ed going back into the hack. Let's see how they stack up through 7 ends of play. Identical.
Yeah, identical scores, but really Martin's had the best of it. Howard, the one end had on 6, had a chance for a nice draw on 2, didn't make that.
A vapor trail and a direct hit, but he's going to leave Russ with 1 shot, and I believe it's still shot.
Nice.
Close for
Did it go
shot
far
stone
enough?
there.
No. Unbelievable.
6-second peel, hog to hog. And I do believe this yellow one may have rolled far enough. Thinks he doesn't have shot stone, but he may. Might be good news when he gets down to the other end.
And as we looked at the numbers comparison, Russ is out-curling Kevin in terms of hits percentage.
No, I don't think so,
Unusual for Kevin Martin.
Mine came
You got to
down
go a
hard
little
at the
higher
end,
because
but
you can't go
just
here.
My intern, I think, is just going a little
Yeah.
bit here.
Yeah.
Hopefully he remembers where he put the broom.
Where's Grant's line?
Put there.
Well, you want it? Yeah, okay, I like that then. Right there?
Yeah. I think mine out wide didn't bend because of the weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Think that's enough?
Mine came in really nice. You thought I was wide when I like
Well, I
that.
don't think it really matters
middle
who
12.
shot there as far as what Howard
gotta
has
go a
to
little wide.
play. He
Is that
doesn't have
guard-
much choice. He's
the
got
guard
to
wider
come
than
into
that,
this
though,
area here and put shot stone right in there, top 4 foot. He really needs to
more,
steal
James.
badly. There is not a
More.
lot of choices
More
on
yet.
this one.
More. There.
Right there?
Yeah, it's quick here. Nice speed.
Don't take it to the button.
What do
Get
you
the top
think,
button.
Paul? Who would have shot rock over there? Very close.
Well, our eyesight is debatable. You have trouble
Between
seeing
you
from
and me,
far,
yeah.
and I'm not so good up short, so I think Russ Howard has got shot, but again,
Top 4. Yep, weight's good.
I wouldn't bet the mortgage on it.
Ball line.
All line.
Ball.
Gotta be top 4. Line's not bad.
Oh, it's cutting hard now.
Gotta be high, guys.
Back of a 4 foot.
That's unusual, and as Wayne Badal mentioned when he was with us, you know, the Russ Howard rule was you don't go deep on a draw, but he has there.
Do as I say.
Oh, he's one, guys. One's fine. One's fine.
Oh, no, he's... Well... So you want to draw against 2 and risk being tied up playing 9? Or do you just whack that, which is a reasonable chance to make that?
All right.
And if we don't make it, we're still 1 up playing 9 with brick.
All right.
Well, that's the decision, right?
Yeah, hit it.
Drawing against 2, I don't think is a smart thing to do right now.
Stupid his first shot.
There's no hole, I don't think, is there?
Let's peel the guard in the first one. We won't have this problem. We're up 2.
Just make sure you're getting rid of one.
We got it fairly thin, yeah.
Yeah, half rock's good.
We're here. Forgetting to shoot the rock.
Some good stuff going on. Martin saying he should have never missed his first one, and Bartlett down at the far end saying we should have played the split on the guard on his very first shot of the end. If we'd have done that, we would have never had this problem.
Yeah, the big word in all of this is if, but mighty preposition, but here's
I don't
Kevin
even know if our red one might go across the top. That I don't know.
Yep. Hard. Roll it in.
He got it. Looks like red shot.
Good shot. Somebody's got to get on now.
I was there, Kevin. I thought it was the whole way.
Oh, no, I don't mean on this. I meant on the roll.
I was on the roll. There. The whole way. As soon as it hit, I learned. Relax.
James Gratna giving it a good look, but at this point in time, he may want a measurement.
No time to do it.
But I think from our vantage point.
Sometimes the tour does get on your nerves, you know, the players.
Got 5 minutes to measure it anyway.
Let's just call it a good marriage.
Always be the guy in the house's house.
This is the unofficial measurement.
You're coming at 100 miles an hour.
That reminded me a little bit of the position stones in the final of the Scott this year when Colleen Jones rolled straight sideways, and there was 2 sweepers there, and what a great debate that was as to whether or not the official should have pulled the stone.
Yeah. Think back to the 96 Women's Worlds in Hamilton as well, and Marilyn Bodo and Doherty Nordby, and that final measurement to win it as well. There's been some memorable measurements going back in time. Don Walchuk and James Grant look on, and they're going to make it official.
You got a little bit more than half, and we got half.
The hog line looks like red.
Here, look at it.
That's red, maybe.
That shouldn't be.
No, about an inch. Maybe.
Just past the 90. Yep.
But I had mine. Slid. Some of them are smudging, some of them.
It's red.
Red Rock, and Kevin Martin gets the necessary one as we head to 9. He's up 3. 8-5 our score in Calgary, and we'll return after this.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
Life is about the potential that lies ahead of us, as well as the accomplishments we look back on. What we make of our potential, how we leave our mark on the people and places we touch, depends on many things. At Cargill, we know one thing is certain. How we nourish our bodies and minds has much to do with what we make of our lives.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over $21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
They've enjoyed a balmy winter here in Calgary and Edmonton, for that matter, but the snow and cold weather have returned to mark the end of a long winter and head into spring. And Russ Howard hoping to spring back into contention and perhaps extend his rank into the championship tomorrow. Kevin Martin, of course, controls as we speak. Game time on our global affiliates will be 2 o'clock, and a first prize purse up for grabs of $40,000 as we are back at the Calgary Curling Club and home of the Southern Alberta Curling Association's Hall of Fame. Ed, you are a member of that, and so many big names here, and quite a visit to this great club, and you can go downstairs and take a look back into history, and of course look at some of these young curlers on the ice as well into its future.
Well, the history of this club is really, I would say, marked by Ron Northcott winning 3 world championships in the 60s playing out of the Calgary Curling Club. The club has had a great heritage. It's hosted the senior championships this year. It's had skins games here before. They had the Canadian juniors here in '97. So the club has just been a fantastic club over the years at hosting the big events. And of course, we had our first 2 tour championships here in '93 and '94.
Some of the great names out of this club, Fred Story and Bernie Sparks, who's not curling anymore, I guess just sort of taking life easy and painting. And historically, a great junior legend in his time as well, Paul Gausel in that rank in 1976 that won the Worlds in Megève, France, and 2 years later at Grindelwald, Switzerland. All out of the Calgary Curling Club.
Oh, then. Wow, everything on.
Well, an opportunity to win this outstanding automobile, a Kia Magentas. This is all part of the Draw to the Button contest. In fact, redemption of coupons that were available at Husky stations in early February. One name was drawn from all the names that were entered, and that particular person has one shot at the button without sweepers. and the rock must stop exactly in the center of the button to win the $250,000 in the Kia Magentas. And if the rock stops anywhere in the rings, the person will win the car only. If the rock doesn't reach the house or goes right through the house, heaven forbid, then the car will be given away through a draw during Sunday's final game. And as well, or thanks to Husky as well, they'll provide a free portion of gas for the entire year. Keep that car filled up.
Well, no, that's the definition of pressure there. You got to put it right on the button.
Now, if I had a lifeline, Ed, I might be able to ask you to throw that rock to the button.
Yep.
Great shot.
Well, Russ Howard's done his job here. He used that free guard zone, placed that guard out in front on the left-hand side initially. Martin tried to chip it off. Didn't quite do it, so it was replaced.
Fine by me.
And Howard's setting up the goalposts here, and when you get the goal, what he needs here is he needs a hit and stick or a flash from the Martin team, and then he could go right to work working on a three-ender.
Yep. Hard, guys. Come on. Hard.
It's going to hit and stick around partially. It's going to remain in play just off sideboards.
Good sweeping. What a big difference it makes to get that guard off. Howard only has the one guard to work with rather than the two.
We know it's slower and we know it curls, so let's take the right.
When you have the two guards, you can go behind the first one. The opponent will peel. You go behind the second one and go deep. They hit the open rock, and you come behind the second one again and set up three.
Where are we going? Same place?
Yeah.
Rick Perrin, help.
Should be there.
James Grattan and Grant Hodeshaw here, just making sure that that rock does have enough fuel to
Never.
traverse the hog line and remain out in front.
No.
Another nice guard in a position. Don't want it too deep. Will avoid the double. Howard lost the opening game he had here against Craig Brown from the USA. Craig being last year's defending USA champion. Craig didn't quite win the USA this year. He lost the final to Jason Larway of Seattle.
The Howard Rink lost their first two matches of pool play and then proceeded to win their next three to become eligible for the tiebreaker. And for the second time in 24 hours, they were able to beat brother Glenn Howard, his rink, and win the quarterfinal matchup last night to get here on a bit of a roll. And Ed, you had a bit of a hunch that when a rink gets on a roll such as that, good things are to happen. And this game is by far from over, but they're up against it here with two ends to be played.
Well, on the tour, we see a lot of the events decided by the hot team that's on a roll. Quite often they get down to the B or C event early, but then they get a lot of games together and start winning and get on a roll, and then they're almost unbeatable when it comes down to the playoffs.
Ricky Perrin's second shot this ninth end. And he'll toss another rock out top.
Good pass.
Howard will go with the double guard system until it gets later in the end, and then he'll finally have to go in. Try to capture at least his deuce.
Hard. Great.
Just hoping for the remote possibility that the Martin rink is going to get a direct hit rather than peel.
And that is remote. You know, you just don't see these guys miss too many peels. The ice is so good, it's so keen. They can throw the big weight and just run straight down the sheet. And then, of course, you've got Don Walczyk throwing that peel for Kevin Martin.
Hard, guys. Good sweeping, you guys. Good sweeping.
Good peel there. And Walczyk curled second for me in a number of spiels in the mid-90s. And when we had to play that shot, and he just said to me, he said, hold the broom and just enjoy the view. He says, I'll get this baby out of there every time.
Basically telling you, Ed, just to serve a mechanical function. I'll do the rest.
Should be interesting.
Well, the time has come to finally go in. Double guard system did not work.
Real hard. Hard line. Hurry! Hurry! Whoa! Wall line. Wall line.
Now, let's see if it'll climb the high shoulder and bury in there.
Yep, hard. Hard, Grant. Yep, yep. There it goes. Yep, 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 come on. Yep.
That's the hill.
You know, 7 games for this Howard rink, and this is their 8th game, and you look at that front end, and they have to get on that immediately. Grant and Rick and those arms have to be burning as they navigate that rock past the front guard.
And all that while you got somebody screaming at you real loud by the name of Russ Howard.
Now, according to Peter and Wayne, they were listening to Glenn back then.
Whoa. Clean. Clean. Roll it over. What's that? Oh, it's rolling. Good throw.
Now, with that bit of a dish to the ice with the center being low, it's really hard to tuck right in behind that corner guard. Will Russ go the board side and try to come in that way?
You gotta do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think about 8.5.
better to come in off the high shoulder.
That's about what I threw, isn't it?
Good luck.
That's about what I threw, though, isn't it?
He says good luck, by the way. They haven't ventured out this far so far.
Can't have any more ice either, can I?
You can walk up the sidewalk.
Think that's enough?
Yeah.
I think it'll track for a while.
I think it's about the same way, kid. Well, I was back 8 or something like that. Okay. I'll try to throw the same, I think.
Compared to the old days of curling where it was heavy on the sides and then got keen in the middle, it's the opposite nowadays. It's always keen on the side because it's ice keened all the way out there, and you can get the fudginess, as Russ Howard would refer to it, in the center of the sheet, where it gets slower at the end of the game. And he's all over the guard, and as you said, good luck. Tough to figure the curl out that far.
Yep.
You really have to get used to the sign over here.
The opportunities for a deuce here for Russ Howard in this 9th end certainly remote now, and possibly heading home with hammer, but trailing by 3.
Well, that shoulder out there is really high. It just came flying off of the high shoulder and zinged right into the guard.
Russ can probably get that thing in there, too. Yeah. We got to peel this. Yep. Hard. That's okay. Clean. Hard. Hard.
Hard.
Good. Places.
Yeah, you heard the word complacent, and I know I've done it as a skip. Sometimes you try to take it a little easy on the sweepers, and you yell, "Oh, easy," you know, don't worry about it. All of a sudden it cuts and noses it, and then you're blaming yourself.
I like to raise. I think that's all you got, too. How does he feel that? How does he feel that?
A little late.
Yeah. Doesn't take much, eh?
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what they think. I don't care how much you hook. I don't think you'll ever climb that hill.
And boy, we're talking about a raise here from the planet Pluto, trying to raise that one straight back and keep it right on the tee line behind cover.
What do you think, Grant?
I think you're right. I don't think he's going to climb the hill with the in-turn. He's going to leave it half open. It's whether he's going to miss the half or not.
Try the out-turn raise. Same shot you nearly made.
Look where the broom goes.
Right here somewhere?
No, left.
And by the way, good luck.
Yes.
Little more.
That's understood. You know, virtually we're in some great ski country out here. This is almost a snowboarder's paradise, a half pipe. As it really comes in from right to left.
Right off, Rick. Wall line. Whoa!
Starting to come up, just never quite got there. Oh, so close to perfect.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
Down goes the broom for Kevin Martin's final shot here, this 9th end, and obvious what he is going to do.
Russ needed 2 there very badly to get back into it.
We'll give the New Brunswick rink credit. They got behind awfully early and had to battle back and did, and have made a game of it.
Oh.
But just on the fringes of staying competitive, not quite able to catch up to Kevin and the rest of his rink from northern Alberta.
Well, they are probably one of the worst teams in the world to get behind. Because they can just play it so clean and throw the big, hard hits.
Yep. Hard.
As Jeff Stoughton found out in quarterfinal play last night, giving up a steal of 4 in the 5th end, and they shook hands in the 6th.
Roll it. Carter. Hard over. Never off. Never off. Never off. Never off.
Oh, great shot.
What a great shot. When it's going good, it's going good. He even makes the blank here difficult for Mr. Russ Howard.
That wasn't very nice at all.
There's your Christmas card.
There goes your Christmas card.
Take one, Russ.
Yeah. Here?
Yeah. James Grattan indicating they're going to have to settle for that one.
Interesting comment by Russ when Kevin goes by. He says, there goes your Christmas card for next year.
8.5 to 9?
9. 9 will get there, right?
Yeah. A little more.
He's faced with a tough task now, is Russ Howard. He needs the one here and then a steal of 2 and 10.
Yep, hard. Come on. 3.
Looks fine, guys. Just clean.
Final rock in the 9th end.
Not heavy.
Just clean it. Just clean it.
Odisha and Perrin applying the brushes here just to make sure as Russ draws for his 1. Tightens the gap, but with the 1 gives up the opportunity to retain Hammer as we head to the 10th and final end. We think Howard trailing Martin by 2 at 8-6.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Husky and Mohawk with ethanol-blended high-performance gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Husky and Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas stations.
Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia.
Discover the sights and sounds that make us Canada's seacoast. In our music, in the excitement of our past, in our seafaring heritage, and in young hearts. It's all in our 400-page Doers and Dreamers Guide. Get your free copy today and visit us as soon as you can. Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over 21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
Is your world a little barren? Classified in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ. Got one thing on your mind? Sports in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ.
And welcome back to Calgary. This was the road to the Final Four for these 8 ranks. Mada, who's advanced and will play later on tonight, be defeating Dave Clemenhaga from Edmonton. Corner over Greg McCauley. Martin defeated Jeff Stoughton, and Russ Howard defeating Saskatoon's Bruce Corte, setting up to the 2 semifinals. And Martin and Howard currently in the 10th end. Mada and Corner standing by, and curling fans in all shapes and sizes and ages here in the province of Alberta. Cool day inside and out in the rosy cheeks, of course, certainly indicative of such. And we're heading down to the 10th end. 8-6 our score for Kevin Martin. Not only up by 2, but he has last rock. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, Kevin's sitting in a very nice position for Russ Howard. He's got to use that free guard zone and get this initial guard out front. He'd really like the 4-rock rule right now, because then he could get 2 free guards out front, and it's easier to steal 2 with the 4-rock rule than it is with the 3. Good shot there into the free guard zone. See how Martin deals with it. He can play the chip and try and move it off. Just can't totally remove it from play. And Martin won't even chance it. He just asked Don Bartlett to simply throw their first stone of the 10th end out of play. His thinking is that if he played the chip with lightweight, he might leave both stones in play, and that would be advantage Howard. Don't do them any favors here. That's the old saying.
That's right, because they can hop on that immediately. Walchuk and Rycroft getting the benefit of that, but they've worked hard, and a well-deserved breather. Ascend far but over. Grant Odishaw here.
If we had the 4 rock here, they could put one more guard out in front, or they could even hide right in behind their own. Kevin wouldn't be able to peel off the front guard with the 4 rock rule.
Fudge.
A lot of praying going on here, but this is going way too deep.
Not down there now.
Yeah. Don't rub that too hard.
First 3 shots at the end have been played now. The Martin team is able to peel even in the free guard zone.
Hard. Real hard. Good.
Bartlett shows that he can throw the big weight as well, and he gets the peel.
So it comes down to a game of attrition at this point in time here for Russ Howard.
And you have to be able to do some math, too. The countdown is on. 2 up with, and you only have 1 left. Well, you can't possibly tie. Russ might be able to, I think, in this situation, at least make Kevin have to throw the last one, but there really isn't going to be anywhere to hide. Tremendous percentages by Rycroft and Perrin.
Halfway. Gotta get it on the line. Well, a lot of weight. Should finish. Yep. Stop.
The Martin rink with Don Walchuk, an investment advisor. He very adept with the numbers, and I don't think this is going to be too difficult a challenge for him to decipher here as the numbers whittle down, and Carter Rycroft here with another successive end, a big weight here for the 2nd stone from Edmund.
He sure fits well into this team his 2nd year with Kevin Martin, and the reason he fits in so well is he can throw that big weight right up there with Walchuk and with Kevin Martin, and he's got such a great release, easy to read. He just fits in like a glove.
That's more, I think.
Hard line.
And from 22-year-old Carter Rycroft to 43-year-old Rick Perrin.
Watch it. Well,
his final shot in his 10th end.
That's good. Will they use the same set of rocks for the next game and a tiebreaker if we play?
His 4th consecutive draw for a guard.
I'm not sure about that, though.
Same turn.
That's right.
Clean.
Just no lack of balance there. He comes out straight at it.
And the bomb sights polished alongside precision.
Rock clock has that hog-to-hog, 6.8 seconds. Very quick down the ice. It's so nice to sweep those, too, when they're thrown on the boom as a sweeper. You only get a few licks in all the way down with your brush, and boom, it's all over.
That make any sense?
Yeah, we can hope he hits the back one. Yeah. We gotta put it somewhere where we can get around it, though. Maybe just off it a bit.
There?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
A little more, I think.
Same spot as always. Well, higher the better.
Nice weight by James as he sets that guard. in front of the rings, just off the center line. He's been a good addition to this team his first year, playing third for Russ Howard. They lost that New Brunswick final, 4-3, extra end to Jim Sullivan, so he almost had his second Brier appearance.
And for the Sullivan rink, you get back, from Sault Ste. Marie in that Brier final against Ed Wernick, and times get very tough in terms of getting back to the big show once again. Of course, scholastic endeavors and jobs obviously take preference, and it's great to see Jim back at the Brier this year.
Shot.
Walchuk peels away.
Just a tick, but when you throw that kind of weight, you don't need very much of it to crash it all the way over the sideboards. It was either or. The back one was either, or the front one was or.
Line's good.
Situation here, Ed, where the numbers start to tighten up.
You missed the center line if you tried.
In terms of rocks remaining and what is needed to extend this to an extra end.
And the first time I met James Grattan was at that Brier 97 in Calgary, and he just played outstanding against Ed Wernick and the likes of Vic Peters, and met him after, and I said, boy, you're some kind of a young shooter. You're going to have a great career. And now he's on this Howard team. I think they're really going to be set for the future.
Whoa, up.
Clean? Clean, yeah. Control.
And for Russ Howard, then there were two, and one rock in the house, and he's just got to stick it back up there.
Go anywhere from edge of the button to the middle 12 and put it in the same spot.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you're playing in dished ice. Doesn't matter how wide you go. It'll all fall into the center of the sheet, and generally end up right around that center line. It isn't real dish, though, because quite often in a dish, you'll actually come over so hard that you'll actually overcurl the center line and end up across.
Plenty of weight.
Seen that delivery a million times.
Kind of room, too, Rick. No, line's fine. Line's good. Line's too deep. Not too deep. Line's good.
And I think it was Russ Howard more than anybody that really got a lot of players to stay real high with their body at the release. It seemed for many years players always tried to get lower and lower, and you don't see your weight quite as good when you get low, and they used to stay up high.
The Howard rank guaranteed of $2,400 coming into the semifinal, and regardless of what happens, we'll take home $10,000 above and beyond that. And the event that Kevin Martin does advance to the championship, which will take place tomorrow, and to the top finisher, of course, $40,000, the runner-up guaranteed of $20,000.
And the Russ Howard team isn't perhaps finished yet either. I just suppose tonight that Peter Corner doesn't win his game against Madaw. There'd be a playoff then between Howard and Corner for that final Olympic berth.
Interesting comments from Wayne Madaw that the Olympic medal to him might be the most important accomplishment. And
nowhere to hide. Kevin Martin is going to have a wide open hit. Russ Howard, not much choice. He has to play this one into the rings to have at least two counting when Kevin goes to throw his last. It'll be a routine big smasher from the hand of Kevin Martin to end the game. Howard wanting to increase the degree of difficulty for this hit, going to the outside, thinking it might be harder to hit on the outside than down the middle.
Clean it. Yep. Well, let her bend a bit. Well, a lot of weight. No, looks good. No. Good shot, Russ.
Yeah, we'll hit this one.
He'll make him throw it. And stranger things have happened.
Yes, they have, especially on the outside parts of sheets.
Howard can only stand and wait as Martin goes down to finish this off. pretty relaxed, not much said.
An opportunity as well, Ed, for Kevin Martin to defend his championship by virtue of this last rock.
Well, he already has his Olympic spot, but he, as you mentioned, he'd love to defend the World Curling Tour Championship here at the Husky Players Championship. He does it.
Gets it, gives up the rock to Russ Howard, but it's academic at this point as the mathematics adds up to an 8-7 win for Kevin Martin. He is back to the championship once again in pursuit of his 4th World Curling Tour Husky Players Championship title. We'll be back with both skiffs in just a moment.
The power of diesel is now even more powerful with the all-new Diesel Max. Fill up at Husky or Mohawk and improve the overall performance of your diesel-powered car or truck. Diesel Max makes engines run stronger, smoother, and perform longer with less maintenance. And Diesel Max burns cleaner, reducing harmful emissions over conventional diesel fuels, showing a big improvement in mileage. It's time for Diesel Max, improving performance and saving you money. Available only at your Husky and Mohawk retailers.
You won't believe your mouth with this antacid tablet.
It's amazing.
Dissolved almost immediately.
Like, it's gone.
It's Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables, a different kind of calcium carbonate tablet for heartburn.
It dissolves quickly when you put it in your mouth. Very quick.
Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables dissolve faster and more completely than Tums.
Didn't have to dig it out of my teeth. It's gone.
Maalox Quick Dissolve. Finally, a quick dissolving antacid tablet.
Quick dissolve. Maalox.
I can do this.
Wallpaper does not scare me.
I can do pretty much anything.
I hate this picture.
No job is too big.
Home Depot makes it easy.
Go home with the right tools and you're done.
I made it beautiful.
How do you know so much?
I'm a gardener, I'm a plumber, I'm the floor tiler.
Gone.
I'm a supervisor.
I turned my garage.
She's my hero.
Back into a garage.
This is my house.
This is why I
go to the Home Depot first.
Home Depot. First in home improvement.
Is everything all right? Everything's just fine.
For more than 60 years, families like Silkins have been entrusting A&J Campbell van lines to move more than just their belongings. You could say they deliver peace of mind. A&J Campbell, Canada's largest coast-to-coast mover.
And handshakes all around as Russ Howard and Kevin Martin shake hands for the second time this season, dating back to Gander, Newfoundland, in the Don Bartlett Classic in September. And for Kevin Martin, an opportunity to seek and attain revenge. And again, like it was in Newfoundland, a one-point game.
That was a heck of a game again, and I guess that's the way it always is with Russ.
Go back to the third end, and we look at the scoreboard, a big 3, and that really set the tone for you people. You're up at 5-1 at that point in time.
Yeah, actually, Russ had a triple on his first one, threw it well and just overcurled a little bit, and then that kind of opened the door for us, but a little bit of bad luck for us there.
Kevin, an opportunity to go back to the championship once again, but we go to the fifth end, the midway point, and you had the big draw for 2. You just kept coming at this rink from Moncton, New Brunswick.
Yeah, well, the ice is nice, you know, to draw on, and it's been the same from the first game till now. You throw it edge of 8, it'll curl to the button, and as long as you don't turn it, you're okay.
Great combination for your rink here today. You were able to play the soft touch game, the precision game, but come back with the big weight for the latter 4 ends as well.
Yeah, no, the guys play really, really good, and so that's what we've got to have here in the Players' Championship. To do any good, you got to have everybody cruising, and right now everything's going so far, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Great draw, got a piece of the Huskies here, and as a result went on to win this game 8-7. We wish you the best of luck tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, whether it be Peter Corner, of course, Wayne Madon. Good luck in that respect.
All right, thank you very much.
Kevin Martin, we'd like to invite Russ Howard as well. Russ, it was tough going right from the get-go for you people.
We had a banquet with A&J Campbell, one of my sponsors, earlier in the game. They were asking me how you'd approach Kevin Martin. I said, it's easy, just get ahead of him, because if you get behind, you're done. And once it was 5-2 there, it wasn't very, or 5-1, I guess it was, you know, you feel like you're down 50 against Kevin. They peel so well. And this type of ice, the rocks are lively, and it was pretty hard to run and hide against these guys.
If there's a saving grace in all of this, it's the fact that you are still eligible for that final Olympic trial berth, and I know you'll be cheering for Wayne Madon, your former teammate, tonight against your other former teammate in Peter Corner.
We had to beat Glenn twice to get here. Now we're still stuck with Wayne and Pete and Kevin in the mix. And yeah, I guess if Pete loses, we can have some fun tomorrow. But, was a good game today. We just got down a bit, but we'll be around tomorrow if we have that opportunity.
Was there a critical point for you early on? I know you gave up the 3 in the third end, but did it happen before that? Were there a series of critical mistakes, perhaps, that allowed Kevin to take charge of this match?
Well, he made a nice deuce. They scored a nice deuce on us. We came back with 1, and I had a pretty easy triple, if there's such a thing, and we had it made halfway down, and it caught a flat spot or hit a hair or something and moved over, and I had a chance to get out of it with my next one, and we just overswept it a little bit, and I could actually hit and roll out, and Kevin's got a tough shot for 2, and I ended up giving him a gimme for 3, so it was just 2 shots in a row. One picked, and the next one we overswept a little bit. But other than that, you know, it was a pretty close game.
It's been a great year for your rink, and the curling season's all but over. As we take a look toward the summer, I guess the rocks are going to be put away in the brooms, and out come the golf clubs. And how busy will you be in suburban Moncton?
Well, at Royal Oaks, the golf course is hugely busy. We've got the word out, and people are coming to play it, and if we ever get rid of the 4 feet of snow we'll have a good season.
Well, Russ, thanks for this. Congratulations on everything, and best of luck in a potential Olympic trial berth. It may still happen.
Right on, thanks.
Russ Howard, a semifinal downside for him today, but of course there may be an upside as far as the Olympic trials in Saskatchewan, Regina specifically, come next December. The championship final, Madaw and Corner taking on Kevin Martin in tomorrow's match beginning at 2 o'clock here in Calgary.
On January 4th of this year, Kia Canada hired this man, Mike Parenteau, to photograph this car, the all-new Kia Magentas. Mike's work speaks for itself, don't you think? I do. Mike, if you're listening, joke's over. We want the car back. Now, Mike, the all-new Kia Magentas from just over 21,000. It's about time everyone had a well-made car, except Mike.
Is your world a little barren? Classified in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ. Got one thing on your mind? Sports in the Calgary Herald. Get it daily. Call 235-READ.
The 2001 Husky Players Championship is brought to you by Husky, your Diesel Max fuel retailer.
Kevin Martin and his rink from Edmonton, Alberta, defeat Russ Howard and his Moncton, New Brunswick rink by 1. The final score 8-7 as he advances to the championship for yet another year. Pleasure to welcome back Ed Lukowich, and for Kevin Martin, a chance to win that 4th championship. Ironically, a rink from Manitoba has yet to win this Tour Championship. Doesn't compare to the Brier, perhaps. Perhaps the Brier might be somewhat easier to win.
Well, Paul, it just proves how really difficult it is to win a Tour Championship. Manitoba has, over the years, won 26 Briers, but never ever won the Tour Championship. And here's Kevin Martin going after his potential 4th title.
Several critical shots in this afternoon's match from the Calgary Curling Club. Let's go back to the third end. Russ Howard with a very critical miss, which really opened the door for a big 3 for the Alberta representatives.
Well, at this stage in the game, Martin's really got it going his way. He's already up 2-1. He's got some counters in there. Russ Howard really needs a triple here, try and get out of trouble. Just overcuts a bit for him, though, and looked like this was really the critical shot at the end as it picked. He doesn't get the triple, and that really led to Kevin Martin getting another 3 there with a real fine shot to end it up, and that put him up 5-1. And when you get down 5-1 on this Alberta team from Kevin Martin, now you're not going to win too many times. He's just a tough customer when he gets a lead like that.
Sets the stage for a very interesting semifinal tonight, and if you're Peter Corner, you are licking your chops. Not only the opportunity to advance to tomorrow's championship, but with a victory here tonight, he would secure that final Olympic berth in terms of the trials in Regina.
Well, this game really went the way Peter Corner wanted, because really Howard has to wait and see how that next game goes. For Corner, he can actually clinch it with a victory against Madaw.
Corner versus Madaw, these two rinks certainly know each other in terms of family, on the ice and off. How do you see this game going?
Well, these are two cousins who have known each other since they were schoolboys, and they played against each other 100 times. They played together on the Russ-Howard team. They out of junior, they were third and skipped together, so they know each other's styles so well. I think Madaw really sets the tone of the game in that semifinal, and Peter Corner, he's the counterpuncher. He knows Wayne's strategy very well, and he tries to say to offset anything that Madaw will do.
And as well, we've got to applaud the Calgary Curling Club. What a tremendous job. The galleries have been so excessively strong the entire week. They saw great curling this afternoon. I'm looking forward to what they may see here tonight and specifically tomorrow.
Right, and Jamie Barassa with the ice as well, and the whole committee here. Just a fantastic setup for this championship, and that was the inaugural when they held it here in '93 and then '94 as well. So it's just a fantastic place to play.
And a reminder, we will be back here tomorrow afternoon on our global affiliates across Canada at 2 o'clock exactly. We know that Kevin Martin is already into the final, and we've talked about it, but Wayne Madaw and Peter Corner, cousins, and an all-Ontario battle later on here this evening at the Calgary Curling Club, and yet another semifinal. The winner advancing to take on the Alberta representatives in what will be a cross-country battle for top honors at the Husky Players Championship in Calgary. Our final score once again here today, Kevin Martin from Edmonton, 8, and Russ Howard and his rink from Moncton as well, 7. A 1-point edge here for the Alberta representatives as they guarantee themselves of at least $20,000 and, of course, have a shot at a championship run in $40,000 as well. And for Russ Howard and his rink from Moncton, well, they come home with $10,000 and still awaiting the possibility of securing that final trial berth, depending on what happens between Peter Corner and Wayne Madaw tonight. On behalf of Ed Lukowich and the rest of our global broadcast crew, I'm Paul Hendricks saying so long from Calgary. Looking forward to seeing you once again tomorrow from the Calgary Curling Club in southern Alberta. So long.